This guy just transmigrated to another world, and the system immediately hooked him up with a broken skill, diagnosing any illness instantly, an observation hockey that sees right through everything. He can pinpoint the exact sickness, and his language lord skill automatically translates any language. Even the top-ranked healer in the server gets outclassed by him. But since he lacks a professional license, the protagonist Kang Seo-hyun can only act as a back-alley quack. Roos is an adventurer in town today. He just got swarmed by 30 wolves. If it weren't for his ancestors looking out for him, he wouldn't have made it back alive. But he's seriously injured. If he doesn't get treated now, he's a goner. The guy sees this and asks, "Hey, kid, want me to heal you? A quick job for 150,000 gold. One shot, and it's done guaranteed." But Seo-hyun doesn't have a healer's badge, so naturally Russ refused. He even thought he'd run into a scammer trying to rip him off. Seeing Russ walk away, Seo-hyun stayed calm. He just told Russ, "If your wound doesn't heal, come find me." So Russ went to look for another healer. Although the price was steep, it worked fast and the pain was gone. Little did he know that same evening, Russ's foot suddenly turned black. Just then, Seo-hyun appeared in his room. Turns out, he already knew the regular healer wouldn't be able to handle the wound. Now, Russ knows Seo-hyun isn't a scammer and begs him for help. The guy holds up 3 fingers, 300,000 deal or no deal. The kid freaks out when he hears the price doubled. He explains it's because the injury has gotten much worse than it was initially. If you're broke but want premium service, you'll only be smelling the incense at your own funeral. Finally, after some haggling, Russ agreed to the treatment for 200,000 gold. Since he had no cash, he had to put his sword up as collateral for Seo-hyun. The kid turned pale, asking if his wound was really that dangerous. "Are you dying? You ask, your foot is swollen and purple like you're in the final stages of poisoning." Seo-hyun tapped his foot and comforted him. "With a divine doctor like me here, I promise you'll survive like a cockroach. You're nowhere near dead yet. You see, there are some things that can't be treated easily, and poison is one of them." Hearing about poison, the kid's face turned green as a leaf. He handed him a purple fruit and said, "Drink this." The kid was confused. "What is this?" He explained, "It's a blackcurrant. The leaves and stems are toxic and can cause paralysis. And this is why black-maned wolves usually live around these bushes. Herding prey into these plants leaves them immobile, making it easier to hunt." Russ looked like he was going crazy. "You mean I'm going to be paralyzed from now on? Healer, please save me. Do something." He produced a purple potion. "Actually, there is one more way." He trembled. "What are you going to do with that, healer?" He took out a sharp knife and carefully placed the blackcurrant antidote on the table. "This antidote needs to be poured directly into the wound. I'd love to treat you without getting my hands dirty, but I don't know who treated you before. They did a great job. So the only way is to open up the wound." Russ said helplessly, "Right, you're right. If I had known, I wouldn't have gotten that other treatment. What a total self-inflicted disaster." He continued, "As I explained before, I cannot perform the treatment, not because I don't want to, but because I can't. I don't have painkillers, so you'd better scream as loud as you want." As soon as he finished, he prepared to bring the knife to the kid's foot. Tears and snot running down his face, he sobbed, "Wait, I'm not ready yet." He warned, "It'll be worse if you squirm." Finally, the wound was opened, and the antidote was poured in. He thought to himself, that's normal for a healer to do. But then he took out another bottle and said, "Endure this or pass out." That skilled healer was named Kang Seo-hyun. Seo-hyun remembered 3 years ago. "When I opened my eyes, I was in a strange cave. A notification appeared. You have been assigned a new profession." I had seen this scene many times before, and monsters appeared everywhere. How many? People had been attacked by wolves until they were torn to pieces. The system brought him a mission to be a healer. Back then, he was still clueless. A healer. It seemed this wasn't Earth, and he was in another world. But the lucky thing was that he wasn't the only one pulled from Earth. Everyone was in a panic. What should we do now? We need to find a way back home. We've only just started. How? Can you even think about going back? I know, but I like it here. I need to go back as soon as possible. I still have a family. Everyone had different opinions except for Kang, who sat in a corner silently thinking about the situation. This looks like a fantasy story, doesn't it? Especially this. A status window appeared with his healer stats, but what were those question marks at the end? A woman shared her view. She's right. We have to find a way to survive. Even though the monsters are terrifying, if we work together, it shouldn't be that hard to defeat them. You've all received your jobs and skills, right? He suddenly discovered his skills. The first was cut anything with a sharp object. He said, not this one. The next skill, Language Lord, automatically translate all languages. Also not this one. Finally, Observing Eye, observe everything with your eyes. Still not the one he needed. This is it. What on earth? My class is definitely supposed to be a healer, but I don't have a single healing skill. Sunlight streamed through the window as Kang wiped the blood off his hands with a towel. All right, that's done. The wound will heal up quickly now, but please try not to walk around for the next 2 or 3 days. Ruth sobbed. I'm still alive. I mean, I got hacked and slashed, but hey, keeping my life is a win, right, old timer? He kept bowing his head to thank the healer. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I would have been a goner. Kang smiled and replied, I told you. This illness wasn't going to kill you. He looked at the wound he had treated by hand. It was already looking better. I can actually do this. Is there really no way to cure it? Ruth, looking embarrassed, said, I'm sorry for yelling at you yesterday and calling you a scammer. Kang gave a friendly smile. It's all right. I've heard that plenty of times. I'm used to it. Who would believe a healer who doesn't have the ability to heal right inside? Ruth silently praised him. He really had a kind heart. Kang even shared his thoughts with Ruth. It's actually satisfying to see the very people who said those things beg me to save them. That's why I do this job. Ruth thought to himself, forget the kind heart part, I totally misjudged this guy. After finishing up, Kang went to the restaurant alone. Julia, can I get 1 portion, please? She turned back cheerfully and replied, Sure thing, Kang. He sat down at a table and pulled a small notebook out of his pocket, wondering, should I write a diary entry while waiting for my food? Finally, he jotted down a few lines. Weather nice. Location behind the village. Patient poisoned. Ever since I stepped into this world, I've developed a new habit. The place I was dragged into is crawling with monsters and deadly pollution everywhere. A very difficult place to survive the On continent. So, to find a way back to Earth, I've been recording daily events. A loud scream made him look up. Julia had accidentally cut her hand. Kang appeared out of nowhere, behind her, and asked, Are you okay? Julia let out a startled yelp. Oh my God, you scared me, he said with concern. Let me see your wound. Julia laughed. It's all right, it's really nothing. Kang thought helplessly. I am so tired of these kinds of arguments. The observing eye skill was activated. His eyes now functioned like a scanner, displaying the injuries and physical condition of his target. Anomaly detected, laceration on index finger. Cut by a knife, nothing serious. I just need to stop the bleeding. Kang tried to persuade her. If your hand hurts, you won't be able to prepare the meals you know. Julia thought about it and agreed. That makes sense. Well, sorry for the trouble, but please take a look at it. He immediately used his bleeding control skill, gently touching her hand. In the blink of an eye, he said, All done. Julia politely replied, Thank you, Kang. The system notified him, points obtained +1 point. As expected, treatment is worth 1 point. Special points, 103. You can spin the wheel once for 20 points. Kang mused. Well, I've saved up a decent amount, so let's do 5 spins in a row. The system confirmed, spinning the wheel activated. A lucky wheel appeared before his eyes. Result strength +1. Result strength +1. Result 10 gold. Result 10 gold. He was shaking with anger. Seriously, gold shouldn't even be on this wheel, right? The lucky wheel is rigged every time. It's totally useless. He looked forward to the next result, and it came out. Result received a new skill. Distribution. It changes absorbed medicine into energy and distributes it, increasing the effectiveness of medication by 30% when used. This is great. The meal is done. Should I give it a try? In Kang's hand was a small, minor recovery potion. He squeezed the bottle with all his might, shattering it. The absorption skill activated, and the potion was absorbed. Then the distribution skill triggered. The health of the targets in the surrounding area was restored. Pretty good, right? I can also use this on patients. It's much better than just having them drink the medicine. As he crushed the bottle, a mist released from it, causing a passerby to scream in terror. He sprawled out onto the ground. "Who are you?" Kang calmly said. "Ah, I'm sorry." The guy angrily asked, "Do you think a simple sorry is enough? You attacked me." Kang shrugged and replied, "I already fully restored your stamina, you know." The guy blankly touched his own body. Immediately, he changed his attitude to one of fawning flattery. "Oh my God, are you a healer?" Kang thought, "This guy changes sides faster than my ex-girlfriend. I've never seen a skill like that before, so I didn't know about it." "Oh well, I live in the countryside." Kang just smiled and said, "I understand." Inside, he thought, how could you possibly know about skills meant for healers? The guy took the initiative to ask, "Then Mr. Healer, perhaps this is fate. Would you like to join us?" Kang asked curiously. "An adventuring party." The guy replied, "Exactly. We're recruiting healers. If you join us, we'll be a group of 4, a perfect number for a team." Kang asked further, "What is the team's mission?" He answered honestly, "We're going to hunt rare monsters." Kang became interested in the offer. "What's the reward for the mission?" He confidently replied, 1.2 million gold. Hearing that number, Kang thought, the reward is pretty good. And they don't have any healers in their team. Should I join? At the Adventurers Guild, an injured person asked anxiously, "So, Mr. Healer, can you show us your ability first?" The healer said firmly, "Of course, I am fully capable of becoming the only healer on this team." Kang and the friend he just met walked to the Adventurers Guild. Upon arriving, seeing the 3 people there, he patted his friend's shoulder and asked, "Mr. Rick, you said there would only be 4 people including me, remember? He's starting to get a headache, and I suspect it's because we invited another healer at the same time. You all have heard about the mission, right? The reward is 1.2 million gold coins, so the more people we have, the smaller everyone's share gets. Do you two think that's okay?" Both of them chimed in, "It's fine." Kang thought to himself, it seems he has no intention of backing down. The other healer also pondered, perhaps he's chasing the same thing as I am. One of them stepped forward and shook his hand. "Great, let's work together then. I'm Fairy O." He also politely introduced himself, Kang Sung-hoon. The other healer stood silently glaring, watching him. After the meeting, everyone headed into the forest. Among them, someone laughed gleefully. "I feel so relieved that we have 2 healers." Seeing Kang Sung-hoon calmly humming, he was incredibly annoyed. "Damn it, you jerk. I won't forgive you for this." After that, the guy started flexing his skills. "In short, I can use basic or even intermediate healing magic, blessings, holy shields, and first aid. I have poison resistance, recovery, resurrection, holy light, holy arrows, and many other divine skills." Everyone clapped and praised him after hearing that. So cool, what a talented healer. Rick turned and asked, "What about you?" Kang hummed and replied, "Well, I can do this." A surge of energy appeared surrounding his body. Everyone asked in surprise, "Well, what is that?" The other healers started getting worried. "A cocky jerk, huh? He dares to use a technique I've never even heard of." Kang stepped forward and asked, "So which monster is our target?" Fairy O replied, "The sewer rat, a monster rat that lives everywhere on the On continent." "I didn't know." that among those sewer rats there is a rare variant. 1.2 million gold coins for that rat, can you believe it? Kang was stunned. What, you guys have never hunted a rare monster before? Everyone honestly replied, right, we've never seen one before. Me neither. The healer hesitated and said, I've only been a healer for less than a year. Kang, full of experience, advised everyone, we need to prepare a lot of potions to fight a rare monster. Let's go back to the village to prepare now. Fairy O sighed. Go back, after we've come this far. Forget it, it's just a sewer rat. The other guy took advantage of Kang's opening to retort, you don't, and I have enough potions, that's your responsibility. If you're that scared, you can leave. He smiled and decided decisively, I'm out. Everyone was shocked. The healer was overjoyed while Fairy O stepped forward and asked, are you sure? Don't change your mind later. Kang turned and said, I'm sure, you guys are going to lose. But I can help you guys later. Now everyone gets 300,000 gold coins. Everyone laughed at his foolish words. Rick didn't forget to wave goodbye. Take care, running away just because of a sewer rat. Fine, I'll take that thing for myself. Rare item. After a while of searching in the forest, they reached their destination. Found it. The rat, worth 1.2 million gold coins. The crest in this other world really is different, huh, brothers? The healer said, don't worry about your stats. And so he said confidently, all right, let's go. Everyone poured all their power into the attack. Fairy O frantically rushed forward. The cunning sewer rat had spotted the enemy. Fairy O jumped up intending to end its life. Die! He slammed his hand hard into the ground. The earth cracked, but there was no sign of the rat. Where did it go? The rat appeared behind him before anyone knew it. Its whole body emitted a dazzling bolt of lightning. He covered his face with his shirt. What is this light? My mana is running out fast, Rick asked anxiously. Healer, are you okay? He urged him. I'm fine. Hurry up, I'll use a buff for your attack. Blessing. Suddenly, his expression changed drastically. Everyone was panicking. An earthquake. What is that? A legion of over 1,000 sewer rats was heading toward them. They attacked repeatedly, leaving no time to fight back. Fairy O screamed. Damn it, Henry the healer. Can't believe his eyes. This is absurd. We lost this quickly. On this side, Rick had taken the opportunity to find a way to escape and accidentally let the healer see him. You coward, he's running away by himself. My mana is drained too. You see Rick walking into a wormhole. Rick closed his eyes and ran like the wind. Sorry, I'll save you in the next life. Suddenly, both of them met each other. The healer was bewildered. Why did he come this way? Rick was just as confused. I definitely ran away, didn't I? Did we fall into a trap? Damn it! The healer shouted helplessly. Damn it! A bottle of blue potion fell out. A calm voice asked, So, you guys failed, right? I knew this would happen. The healer was stunned to see Kang Sung Hyun appear. Kang continued, saying, You should have thought about this sooner. Who would give you a huge amount of money just for a rat? I'm charging 500,000 gold coins per person. A blue gas wafts out, attracting the sewer rats. Mabello is stunned. Kang Seung Hun, why are you here? Get ready to fight. They're about to attack us. But Mabello, you said. You know how to use the god's shield, right? He trembles. That's right. But I'm completely out of mana, and I'm out of potions too. All you need is mana. Absorption skill activated. Mana absorption potion used. Distribution skill activated. Potion effect increased by 30%. Thanks to the distribution skill, all skills and strength are transferred to Mabello's body. He is completely shocked. My mana. Restored by a skill. A mana recovery skill. He recalls his master's old words. You need mana to use skills. That's nonsense. Don't take the easy path. The only one capable of such things is a god himself. Kang Sung Hun appears bathed in a gentle divine light. Mabello bows his head, trembling. What the hell are you? God, I've a god Frisk. He bows. Forgive this lowly life for being so rude to you, my lord. His strange behavior leaves him confused. What is wrong with this guy? Mabelo keeps shouting, I swear by God, Eva, I will never tell a soul about what I saw today. He smiles to himself. This kid, if I told him the truth, he might pass out from shame. The sewer rats follow the human scent closing in. Seeing the unconscious party, Mabelo unleashes his power, kicking a rat away and blasting them with his hands. Merciful God, Iva, O great one, lend me your magnificent power. If you grant it, God's shield. A barrier forms blocking the rat swarm. Kang watches the situation thinking to himself, so he just made all that up to make things look better. At the very last moment, he falls to his knees cheering, Great Lord, I did it. He plays along, do whatever you want, and stop bothering me. You too. As he says that, he pulls out a blue potion. Fighting 2 or 3 rats barehanded at once. The reason this quest pays 1.2 million is because of this trap. Domination. A rare monster skill. It gathers its kin and controls them. If an adventurer gets scared and tries to run, it traps them in a small dungeon. With that spatial ruler ability, that's why I prepared insecticide for this world. Terran peppermint essence. He grips the bottle, the gas hissing. He lunges at them. Terran peppermint can kill even small animals. Even if this isn't enough to kill hundreds, the distribution skill is activated. It's different from normal distribution, and now their defense is weakening. He grabs a rat by the fur and slashes its head. Another rat notices its comrade is being attacked. While he's busy finishing off the first one, another one lunges out of nowhere. Luckily, he notices just in time. You damn rat! Kang nimbly dodges, causing the rat to slam into a tree. That was close domination again. On the other side, Mabelo prays. The faith of a man devoted to his deity. I shouldn't bother him. He ordered me not to disturb him. Huh. The rats, a pile of them, are crawling all over Kang. Seeing this, Mabelo screams, Oh, great God! Hearing this, he snaps, Don't recovery potion. Distribution, restore health. With the potion's effect, the recovery will last for a set time. He thinks, My stats are stable now. I should take care of this before the effect wears off. There are so many of them. Suddenly, while he's distracted, a rat sneaks up and bites his ankle. He winces, reaching for his knife, but the pain is too much. He collapses to the ground. Status effect bleeding, bitten by a monster. Recovery potion effect nullified. I'm bleeding right now. This rare monster is actually smart. He uses a cauterization skill. The rat and he glare at each other. The system flashes a red warning, Domination. You have been affected by a debuff skill. Damage and mana consumption will be doubled. Domination. This is too many debuffs. If you're trying to drain my mana until I can't use skills anymore, while he's lost in thought, the rat charges at him, but he's not scared at all. He says defiantly, But did you know I don't use mana? He stabs it straight through the throat, a critical hit. The rat grows weak and flops onto the ground. He checks his wounds. My limbs are intact, my ankle is fine. I really thought I was a goner. The system notification pops up. Achievement completed. 1-on-1 rare. Complete the achievement by hunting a rare monster alone. A relieved smile appears on his face. Finally done. Worth the effort. Mabelo yells, Oh, great lord! He smiles and whispers, That was close. Luckily, that idiot stopped the healing spell halfway. He selects View Rewards. The achievement reward is being randomized. Even the reward is a spin the wheel. You have received a new skill, Throw. Accuracy for throws plus 100%. Throw damage plus 100%. Buff effect plus 25%. A combat skill. I was hoping for something better. Wait, buff effect. So if I throw a poison that has a 1% chance of instant death, it increases to 26%. But what is this? Mabelo runs over, calling out, Great Lord. He turns back and praises him. Mabelo, you did well. His eyes light up. It's all thanks to your grace that we could survive. Keep this a secret for the rest of your life. Kang tells him to drop it and wake everyone up. He obeys immediately. All right. As he resurrects them, they slowly drift back to consciousness. Fairy O grumbles, asking what happened. Seeing a rat lying dead with its tongue out right next to her, she turns pale and screams, "What the hell is this?" Kang, covered in sludge, approaches. "Did you sleep well?" She's shocked. "What happened? Did you kill it?" He chuckles. "What did you think, it died of old age?" She's stunned. He defeated that monster all by himself. No matter what happens, Kang Sung-hun never forgets the money. 300,000 gold coins per person. Thanks in advance. She replies, "Yes, we'll pay." He adds, and the three of them stare at him. Kang Sung-hun touches the rat and says, "One more thing, this is what I was aiming for. I'm taking this." A shimmering, glowing purple jewel and a whole bag of gold. Honestly, I'm starting to feel a bit awkward about taking all this. Fario expressed his gratitude. "Don't worry about it, man. I'm truly grateful to you for saving everyone's lives." He replied politely, "But I only found this quest because of you, too. Let me buy you a drink." Henry let out a weary sigh. "We're heading back to our village tomorrow, so I don't think we can drink right now." He asked, "Wait, we?" Fario explained, "All three of us are from the same village. We almost had a mass funeral back there, just from trying to make a little money, so we're done being adventurers." He nodded in agreement. True, an adventurer can make a pile of cash fast, but that comes with an equally massive risk. Fario and his friends turned back smiling as they said, "We'll be heading out now. Buy us around next time if we ever get the chance to meet again." He waved goodbye, feeling a bit down. "What a shame. And what about you?" Mabello jumped in surprise and answered, I don't drink." He said to the guy, "In that case, let's just pretend we never met." "I'll do the same." Mabello immediately went into fanboy mode. "Understood, my great lord. I see you must be keeping your identity a secret, right?" After saying that, he shuffled away. "I'm still not good enough. I need to train harder so I can actually join the great god's real adventures." He stood frozen for a solid 10 seconds. Did I just turn a normal guy into a complete lunatic? Wait, no. Never mind. What else can I do? Time to check this item. He headed to the appraiser's shop. He handed the guy the purple jewel. "I'm here to have this appraised." The man nodded. "Let's see here," and picked it up to examine it. Seeing the man's shocked expression, he secretly wondered, is it better than he expected? The guy announced, "I'll start right away." A light as blinding as the sun erupted from it. The appraiser squinted to get a good look, then said, "It's a C-rank item. It's the beauty of a tiny life." He was stunned. C-rank. The man laughed. "Yes, it's worth about 80,000 gold coins. But if you sell it at our shop, I can give you 120,000 gold coins." He manifested a blue vial and dropped a few drops onto the jewel. The shopkeeper was confused. "Huh, what are you doing?" After soaking in the solution, the jewel still showed no reaction. He introduced it to him. Latasa potion. It's famous in the north. It's a substance that reacts when it comes into contact with blood. This is the dagger I used to kill that rare monster. The man forced a smile. "Is that so? Why are you telling me this?" He began to speak in a savage tone. "It looks clean because I washed it. However, it's still stained with blood, you just can't see it. So with something like this taken from the monster's body, the reaction should be stronger than the dagger, right? Unless someone..." He grabbed the guy by the head and slammed it onto the desk with a massive thud. He said furiously, "Has been tampering with it." The sound of shattering echoed through the room. The appraiser shrieked in pain. "You're making a big mistake. We are inside the Adventurers Guild facility. If I report this..." Kang Sung-hyun suddenly remembered. "Oh, right." Then he smashed the guy's head onto the desk again. "Thanks for the reminder." He placed his hand on the man's head, and immediately his healing skill activated. Sung-hyun's voice turned chilling. "I think I forgot to introduce myself, didn't I?" The appraiser was trembling all over. My blood stopped flowing. Could it be that he is..." I am the healer, Kang Sung-hyun. The guy whimpered, begging, please save me. There is a saying on the On continent, if you intend to swindle a healer, then make sure you don't get caught. There are two types of treasure-holding healers. One type is overwhelmingly powerful, or the other is a madman who finds joy in hunting monsters. A moment later, the appraiser had his wounds bandaged. He thought to himself, they were right. A healer who beats his enemies to the brink of death, only to heal them and then beat them again. His eyes were full of suspicion. But I didn't feel any holy power at all. Sung-hyun stared intently at the jewel. So this is actually a B-rank treasure, huh? Even though he was reluctant, the man had to answer, yes, a B-rank treasure. And this focus ring, at A rank, it's worth about 6.4 million gold coins. He stepped closer, threatening him. And he was going to buy it. For 120,000 gold coins should I kill him. He still didn't understand why this thing was so expensive. The focus ring item, when equipped, allows the wearer to significantly increase their ability to focus, boost mana, increase damage, speed up spellcasting, and increase mental strength by 50%. The appraiser added, you know if a mage panics, it's all over. Seung-hyun's expression remained as calm as ever. Increase mental strength by 50%, huh? That's useful in many ways. So that was why it was so expensive. After hearing that, he let out a cold laugh. Not bad at all. Now unseal it, and I'll take this charm treasure too. Don't try to scam me again. The man bowed his head. Yes, but what about the payment? This question received no answer. Sung-hyun was already at the tavern. I've earned enough to drink now. But an old woman hurried over to apologize. Sir, we don't have any seats left right now. I think you could share a table with someone or try another tavern. He felt a bit disappointed. Is that so? Dr. Kang, someone called out to him. Sung-hyun turned his head and realized it was Kim Do-ho. He was surprised. It really is you. So the two of them sat at the same table to chat. How long has it been? He answered uncertainly. About 2 months. He said happily, you're a lucky guy today. I made a pretty good haul this time. You ask curiously, how much? With an excited look on his face, he replies, about 2 million gold coins. Isn't that amazing? Order whatever you want. Let's go, I'm treating. Young-ho follows his lead. Well, beer won't cut it. He points at the raspberry wine. You should try this. Seeing the price tag of 1 million, Young-ho is stunned. That's way too expensive. He laughs and speaks up. All right, let me pay for this instead. 1 bottle of raspberry wine, please. As they continue to chat, Young-ho says with admiration, you've done an amazing job on this quest, honestly. Just as he pours the item, Sung-hyun asks, so have you had any good luck today? He can't believe his eyes. I can actually drink this stamina potion. Thinking about stamina and stats is just exhausting. He says comfortably, of course, stamina is a different stat from strength. I don't need potions for it since it recovers with rest, but I can't use my skills without it. Sung-hyun ponders, since I didn't have any mana to begin with, I thought maybe it's because I'm not from the On continent, but other dimensional travelers still have it. Young-ho smiles and says, it's still better than my situation, right? Still, it's nice to be able to use skills. He replies, there are some advantages. Mana potions are expensive. You're already tipsy now, so let's drink like friends. Cheers. A toast to people like us living on the On continent with these damn powers. Not long after Young-ho is dead, drunk, mumbling, I knew it was expensive for a reason. Sung-hyun speaks up. Just relax. Right, there's something I want to ask you. What is it? Is it important? He glances behind him. There are many people around. Let's turn off God's communication first. He understands immediately. Seems really serious, huh? He cancels God's communication. Jung-ho asks curiously, what's the matter? Did you find a way home? Sung-hyun says coldly, You're expecting too much. I got a new skill. And there are some strange things about it. It's a Black Star grade skill. The accuracy and damage are 100%, and it increases effects by 25%. You guess. The star in the skill name, right? I don't have any skills like that. He nods slightly. This is the first time I've seen something like this. Maybe it's better than normal skills. Should I try killing a rare monster alone? Do you know anything about it? I don't know for sure. Suddenly, Young Ho shouts, "Right, I think someone who used to be in my party mentioned a Black Star skill." He asks impatiently, "Really, who was it?" He scratches his head. I think his name was Kim Jae-hyung or Kim Jong, or maybe Kim Jin-hyung. Let's just call him Kim Jae-hyung. He reminds him, "You can't just decide other people's names like that." He doesn't care and gets to the point. Anyway, that guy was really strong. He was like a dimensional traveler, but the gap was huge. He killed all the monsters by himself, so I asked him what he ate to get that strong, and he said he possessed a Black Star skill, and on the last day he started screaming. What did he say in the end? The fourth skill. Young Ho's expression turned serious. Maybe this is the way to get back. Hearing that, he loses his composure. What a way to get back. The two leave the tavern. Young Ho walks unsteadily. Thanks for the drink one day. I'll earn 4 million and buy you 2 bottles. Seung Hyun laughs. I'll look forward to that. You even took the bottle. I'm heading to the inn. What about you? He answers, I'm going to buy a few mana potions. He waves goodbye. All right, I'm off then. See you later, take care. He waves back, but the very next second his gaze changes. His brain starts working at full capacity. If what he said just now is true, then attaining a 4-star skill might change something. So I need to get one too, because it could be a clue to finding the way back home. Besides, how could Kim Jae-hyung collect 4 of them? I only got mine after risking my life. How could he forget such important information? He sighs. What should I do tomorrow to earn more points? The next day at the market. In Hin Village, people crowd around a sign, healing at a low price. We accept payment in goods. He even drew ahead with an injury and a broken arm. Is he afraid people won't understand? He really is too cautious. Seung Hyun smiles and greets the customers. Welcome, we will take care of you at a low price. Someone asks timidly, Are you a healer? His face is full of confidence as he asserts, That's right. Another voice cuts in. I know that guy, he's a weirdo who couldn't even get a healer's badge because he can't use healing magic. Immediately rumors start to spread. What I knew, something was wrong. Come to think of it, he really does look like a scammer. How can someone who doesn't know how to heal be a healer? Before long, the place is left with only a lonely Seung Hyun. I expected this to happen. Suddenly, a commoner approaches. Excuse me, he says joyfully, welcome. But his true customers aren't the adventurers, or these people. The woman asks hesitantly, Do you accept payment in goods? I have some potatoes. I'm not sure if they're enough. His face is friendly as he replies, That's fine. So what seems to be the problem? She opens the cloth wrapped around the wound. Here I was injured by a farming tool. A friend of mine only had a small scratch on his finger from a hoe, but I heard Hearing about someone who got deathly ill, Seung Hyun immediately guessed it was tetanus, a terrifying condition, especially since there are no vaccines available here. First, let me see. Let's take a look at that wound. The person slowly reached out their hand. Seung Hyun immediately used his observe skill. Instantly, all the information appeared abnormal status scratched and cut by a hoe 2 days since the incident. Prone to infection from using old bandages. After a moment of observation, he sighed in relief, thinking to himself, Luckily it's not tetanus. It's nothing dangerous, ma'am. The person was overjoyed. Really, let me see. Seung Hyun pulled out a bottle of medicine. This will help treat your wound. It was a strange-looking liquid medicine. He explained, This is a cream-based medicine. You just need to apply it in the morning and at night and use clean bandages. She replied, I don't have any. He immediately turned away. Wait, healer. Before she could stop him, Sung Hyun grabbed a bundle of straw. If you don't have any, I can make some myself. He combined it with his fabric crafting skill, and it was a complete success. Since I'm already at it, I'll make extra to keep in stock. It's hard for commoners to afford bandages because they are so expensive. The woman teared up, thanking him profusely. Thank you so much for this. Take care. He waved goodbye to his first customer. That's a good start. Seung Hyun hummed happily. Points earned. Word spread quickly, and soon people were flocking to see him. Healer. Do you really accept payment in goods? Please take a look at my wound. Everything went smoothly. Thank you. The system notified him. Healing points received. Points earned 3. May God bless you. Points earned 2. Thank you. One by one he received 2 points, 5 points, 3 points. Thank you so much. Total accumulated points, 172. Sung Hyun wiped the sweat from his forehead. Honestly, this is truly worth it. Hunting monsters isn't bad, but healing people in the village peacefully is the best. I hope to only see patients. Suddenly the table holding the medicines was knocked over. How ridiculous. You call this filthy tent a shop? Hey, give me some of that medicine. Looking at everything destroyed, he thought, what kind of jerk is this? Seung Hyun tried to suppress his anger. What kind of medicine are you looking for, sir? He arrogantly replied, the kind you make. Seung Hyun cursed under his breath. Damn it. He looks like he's from a noble family, but why would he come to this small shop? He looked around and sneered that the place was as small as a pinhole. Sung Hyun took out a bottle. I don't know what you're looking for, but for now, this is the only type I have. He spoke up. So you're the one who made it. For a medicine crafter, you're quite lucky. I am Richard Iref. He was one of the 3 sons of the Iref family. Sung Hyun was a bit surprised. The Irefs were quite a powerful family in these parts. And what brings you here, sir? A soldier replied, It's nothing strange. Our master wants to hire you. Hearing this, Kang Sung Hyun couldn't help but be suspicious. Why would someone so noble come looking for him? Richard impatiently reminded him, You're talking too much to this guy. The man hurried to apologize. My apologies, young master. I was just following orders. He grabbed a bag thrown at him. What is this? He barked. You don't even know what that is. You idiot. Sung Hyun stood there stunned. How would I know? The soldier explained. Those are the ingredients used to concoct Tesri medicine. It was a polluted region, the man recounted. Tesri was actually once a beautiful land, but now they didn't know why it had become so contaminated. The land had rotted away and was constantly emitting toxins. The lord in charge of the region had led the army to exterminate the monsters to stop the pollution from spreading further. But without needing to hear the rest, he already guessed it. He also came into contact with the toxins during that time. The soldier replied, Yes. One of the servants at the manor said he had received a bottle of medicine from this place. Currently, the supply of antidotes for this poison is very far away, and it's not actually that good either. Sung Hyun chuckled to himself. So that's why this young master came here himself, huh? To repel the toxins, cream-based medicine was better than liquid, and right now he was the only one who could make it. He calmly sat down in his chair. So, you want me to concoct the medicine? Richard was still in a foul mood. So you don't speak human, huh? If you make a good impression on my father, he will grant you a much more luxurious shop than this pathetic tent. That means you'll be receiving a favor you couldn't pay back in your entire life. Sung Hyun pretended to be interested. I'm truly honored. That made him even more arrogant. If you understand, then go make the medicine. Seung Hyun replied bluntly, I refuse. Sung Hyun bluntly replied, I refuse those terms, as if struck by lightning. Richard, you. What did you just say? Say it again. I said I refuse. You can't keep your cool, you arrogant jerk. That is not. Something a mere alchemist like you has the right to refuse. It is an opportunity my father has bestowed upon you. He puts the bag back on the table. You've got the wrong person, sir. First of all, I am not an alchemist. Well, I could make a decent amount of money if I took this job, but then I'd be stuck working for them. I need to earn more points. He glances over at him and, try to be a bit more polite if you're asking for help. You ignorant fool, you call yourself a healer. Ridiculous. Just then, someone rushes in, interrupting Richard. Healer Kang, please help me. Healer, my younger sister, Seung-hyun, immediately checks her condition. Bleeding from a wound so deep the bone is exposed. A finger severed by a sharp sickle. She could die if not treated. His gaze turns intense. It's completely severed. The blood vessels, nerves, and tendons too. The finger is just held on by a thread. We have to clean the wound first. There are so many impurities from that sickle. He asks anxiously, so, can you save her? Ha! Richard's laughter rings out. It's so funny I can't hold it back. Only then does he realize Richard is there. Richard starts looking. An alchemist can make potions or treat poisons, but with a wound like this he can't do anything. With this type of injury, healing light is something only a healer like me can provide. Seung-hyun is a bit surprised. He's a healer. Then please heal her finger. He asks casually. Why should I do that? Does a low-class commoner like him have enough money to pay me? But if you beg for my forgiveness for being so arrogant and agree to our demands, I will mercifully save that commoner. Seung-hyun is skeptical. Would he really treat a commoner? A noble usually would never do that. A spark flashes in his mind. This bastard. It seems he really needs my potions. He turns away decisively. No, you don't need to do that. I will treat her myself. Richard grinds his teeth and asks, then what exactly do you plan to do? Seung-hyun takes out his tools. I'm just going to stitch it back together. No sooner said than done, he gets to work. He's already cleaned the wound and stopped the bleeding. Good thing I made that saline solution earlier. He starts laughing loudly again. Stitch it. You think people are toys? He whispers to himself. Move, get out of the way, don't distract me. Richard challenges him. I'll bet my lucky necklace that you can't do it. Seung-hyun isn't intimidated. Fine. If I succeed, I get your necklace, and you have to provide free treatment and food for the commoners for 3 days. How about that, young master Richard? He forces himself to say, fine. You quack. And if you fail, you make the potions we need, and never call yourself a healer again. Deal. He accepts comfortably, though. Inside, he's still a bit anxious. I said I'd stitch it, but this is a difficult situation. That's if I only used regular thread. He immediately uses his alchemy skill along with his thread crafting skill. With these, I can create a thread suitable for this surgery. Now activate observational eye skill. Richard can't wait any longer. Why is a mere alchemist wasting my time like this? I will make you regret this when this is all over. Seung-hyun stays hyper-focused. I've learned a few principles during my time living as a healer. Healer's survival rule number 5. He uses his skills one after another. Hemostasis, observational eye, suture. Don't expect to just get a good skill. Make the most of all the skills and knowledge you have. Seung-hyun is performing the finger reattachment. This is an incredibly complex surgery, but with the right skills, there is nothing I can't do. It will take a lot of mental power to reconnect every nerve, but with these rare items, it's worth it. A notification appears. Mental power increased due to the effect of the Ring of Vitality. Okay, now if I stitch this. Suddenly, he freezes. Damn it, my stamina. Seung-hyun doesn't stop. He keeps pushing. A little more, just a little more, just a little more. All right. Seeing the finger stitched back together, Guan is moved to tears. It's attached. He's secretly relieved. That was close. If it had taken any longer, I would have passed out. First, I need to recover stamina and finish this properly. He applies the full recovery skill to increase the patient's recovery speed. Done. Witnessing his success, Richard gets angry and makes an excuse. Don't joke around. There's no way a finger can move just because of that. Check for yourself. He doesn't hesitate to step forward. You arrogant jerk, get out of the way. The girl slowly opens her eyes. Seung-hyun speaks up. Can you hear me? Can you close your hand and open it? Check it yourself, he said, stepping forward without hesitation. As the arrogant one moved aside, the girl slowly opened her eyes. Seung-hyun spoke up. Can you hear me clearly? Can you clench your fist and then open it? She obediently followed his instructions, and it worked. He exclaimed in shock, No way! Seung-hyun smiled and asked, Do you still remember what you just said? He hesitated. What do you mean? Seung-hyun teased, Don't tell me you're going to go back on your word, especially as a member of the first IRF. How dare a common alchemist like you? He slammed the lucky necklace onto the ground. Damn it. A gift given isn't the same as a gift meant, sir. He reminded him, then picked up the item. Guan frantically asked, Dr. Kang, thank you so much. But, do you think he'll really keep his promise? Seung-hyun was completely confident. Of course, his father is definitely going to be very strict about this. Please spread the word everywhere. Tell everyone that if they come to the city square, they'll get free food and medical treatment. Returning to Julia's inn, Julia asked anxiously, Dr. Kang, have you heard the rumors? His tone was heavy. Rumors? She hesitated. You look so strange. It's about the young master of the IRF house opening a free clinic at the city square, and he's handing out free food too, so there are tons of people gathering there. Is that so? That's great, she said with concern, but I was worried your patient count would drop. Seung-hyun's expression remained calm. It's fine. As far as I'm concerned, it's great that everyone is getting treated for free. Her eyes turned dreamy. What a truly kind man. He felt extremely cheerful thinking about the guy's predicament. This is hilarious. Oh, Julia, I managed to get some potatoes today. If you don't mind, please use these. She immediately accepted. All right, leave it to me. I'll cook you something delicious to help you regain your energy. Seung-hyun said shyly, Thanks. But probably not today, because the 10 pull spin and the 200 points will be deducted. That spin really knocked the wind out of me. Getting skills multiple times like last time is definitely weird. But the life crystal will expand my storage. I'll use this. It's a crafting material for stamina gear, so at least this is useful. Someone curiously asked, Isn't that a crystal? He immediately recognized the person. Mr. Kim Jung-ho, you're here too, he replied. This place has great food always. You're lucky I just found this too. Seung-hyun was surprised. Isn't that used for crystal enhancement? Jung-ho played the role of a generous man. Take it, I don't need it. If you sell this, you'll make a lot of money. Hearing that, Jung-ho asked again, So you're not taking it? He answered without beating around the bush. Yes, thank you. Jung-ho's gaze landed on something else. That ring, you haven't sold it yet. Are you planning to keep using it? He replied, No. I only needed it temporarily. It's pretty expensive, so it's hard to sell. Jung-ho offered, Let me recommend a shop to you. Following Jung-ho's advice, Seung-hyun went to a weapon shop. He slowly walked inside. Hello. If this is where Kim Jung-ho recommended, it shouldn't be too bad, right? The shopkeeper replied, Welcome. I'm here to sell some items. He took out the lucky necklace. The owner looked it over and spoke up. The crystal on this necklace is cracked. He remembered Richard. That bastard! I'll buy this for 3 million gold. Seung-hyun nodded in agreement, secretly thanking Richard in his heart. What about this? He brought out the ring. The shopkeeper was surprised. That's a rare one. Wait, let me check the recent transaction history. He turned to leave. Take your time, I'll look around the shop. The owner replied, Feel free. Seung-hyun carefully observed everything. Let's see. Is there any useful weaponry here? A crossbow. Should I try evaluating its quality? After all, having a ranged weapon would be good. As he reached to pick it up, a light suddenly emanated from it. He was bewildered. What is this? At that moment, a notification appeared. Take it at any cost. Just a crossbow, but I have to take it at any cost. Sung-hyun sensed something abnormal. Take the crossbow. Up until now, I've received countless messages, but I've never seen one that felt this human. He suddenly noticed, but this one, it feels like it's watching me. Sir, a voice rang out, making him jump. It was the shopkeeper. Is something wrong? He replied. Sorry about that. I was just thinking about something. Is this crossbow some kind of special weapon? The owner understood what he meant. You must be talking about Freyka's crossbow. It's a precious weapon that was recently discovered in the ruins. It goes with this FRA bag. If you put an item inside here, the owner dropped a gold coin in, and take aim, the item turns into an arrow. You can also fire 5 consecutive shots. He thought to himself, that must be expensive. What's the price? We're pricing it at about 15 million. As soon as he finished, he choked. 15. How could I ever afford that? If you want to buy it now, I can sell it for 14 million. Hearing 14 million, he had a glimmer of hope. How much can I get for the stamina ring? The owner answered, I see in the transaction records that it's 6.6 million gold. I can buy it back for that price. Sung-hyun started calculating. Total 9.6 million gold for both the ring and the necklace. Even if I spend all my emergency funds, it's still not enough. He whispered, if you're watching me, give me 4 million gold right now. The space remained silent. Nothing changed. He felt dejected. So that's how it is. The shopkeeper reminded him, if you want to buy this, you at least have to give me the money. If you don't have enough money right now, would you like me to hold this item for you? Could you ask that again? The old man just smiled and said, of course. Judging by the items you've brought in, I'm sure you'll make enough gold soon enough. He thought to himself. So that's why Kim Jong-ho recommended this shop. All right, thanks, old man. Is there anything else you need? Please get me that piece of corn that looks like a hairpin. The next day, Sung-hyun headed to the Adventurers Guild. With that life-sustaining item pinned to my shirt, let's see, trading his talent for points and cash. The place was loud and bustling. Let me check the quests, read it, and get lost. That's the life of an adventurer. He had planned to borrow some money from Kim Jong-ho, but the man had told him, I only have 5,000 gold. He was even poorer than Sung-hyun had thought. Curious, he asked, do you ever think there's a chance we'll never make it back? He replied vaguely, I don't know anymore, but I think I have a lead. After 3 years of silence, the person who brought them here had finally spoken to him. Maybe I can actually talk to that guy. If I can get that crossbow, I'll let you know if I find anything. First, Sung-hyun needed to find some work. He shoved into the crowd. Wonder if there's anything useful here. So, these are for healers. He snatched the notice. A girl saw him and spoke up. Mr. Kang Seung-hyun. I'm sorry, but only licensed healers are allowed to take those jobs. You need the seal. Even though you've helped us so much, we still can't register you. He kept a cheerful face. Don't worry, I was just looking. She looked embarrassed. Oh, really? Wait, is everything already in motion? After a while, he picked one out. This looks decent. Urgent, need a healer. Patient's leg won't stop bleeding. The address was Julia's. Julia was surprised to see him. Dr. Kang, did you forget something? No, I'm just looking for someone. He opened the door. Found you. Voices came from inside. Let us pray. May the Lord grant you his blessing. Sung-hyun watched the man. A priest. How could anyone afford to hire a regular priest for a job like this? Is he a wandering priest? A blonde woman spoke up. Father Lena is very tired. The man replied quickly. Hurry now. Can you take off the bandage? Sung-hyun from afar activated his clairvoyance skill. Condition: abnormal bleeding due to infection. Wound caused by a sharp object. Teeth marks identified on the wound. Wait, teeth marks. Please rest assured. The priest began to heal. Seung-hyun spoke up to stop him. Wait, hold on. The man looked baffled. Who are you? He introduced himself. I am Kang Seung-hyun, a healer. Sorry to interrupt, but your healing method won't work. Hearing this, the man felt offended. Huh, do you know what kind of healer I am? What a rude person. He quickly explained, I think you misunderstood. I didn't mean your ability. The girl spoke up suddenly. Excuse me, you said you're a healer. Then I'm sure you understand my friend's current condition. If you're only here to say things like that, you should stop and get out. He insisted, I told you doing that is useless. She pushed him out with all her strength. Get out! You're getting in the way. Seung-hyun had been kicked out. They're so stubborn. Don't say I didn't warn you. Inside, things proceeded. Father, please continue. Please rest assured. He stood there, confident. It's useless. The priest grew anxious. Why he tried using holy light to heal Lena's wound. Healing failed. The wound is getting worse. He hesitated. This. Lizzie panicked. Father, what's happening? The bleeding won't stop. She stood there, lost in thought. Everything is happening exactly as that healer said. I thought the priest from the Church of Y would be different. Does this mean no matter which healer we bring, Lena won't get better? Lena called out, Lizzie. She replied immediately, What is it, Lena? With a gaunt face, she said, the healer from before. He knew that treating me would be useless. If it's that person, he might actually be able to heal me. Lizzie managed a bitter smile. But Lena, that guy is suspicious. Lena grabbed Lizzie's hand, begging, Please, I'm begging you. I won't last long even with the divine medicine. Lizzie could feel her hand, it was so cold. Finally, she made a decision. Okay, I'll bring him here. Julia was cleaning the inn when a loud noise made her look up. Lizzie breathlessly described, Excuse me, have you seen anyone? Who just left the waiting room. He had black hair and eyes, and he was pretty tall too. Julia pointed to where Mr. Kang was sitting and asked, You mean Dr. Kang? Yes, that's him. He had been sitting there waiting since the afternoon. How the hell could I lose? I've already calculated everything. He sat in the distance. Seeing him, Lizzie asked, How did you know? Lizzie clenched her fists. You were right. Priest Huis's healing magic didn't work. You knew where the problem was, didn't you? He nodded. Yeah, I suppose that's true. After everything that's happened, you still want me to be the one to treat her. You're so embarrassed that your face is beet red. I must have misunderstood what you said earlier. You spoke as if there was no chance of saving her, so I thought the treatment wasn't working because of the healer's incompetence, even though I knew I sounded shameless. Never mind. I know I'm being shameless, but please, I'm begging you to save my teammate. She thought to herself desperately, asking for help after I just picked a fight with him. Even I don't think I have the right to ask. See, hearing the exchange curious, she looked up to check. Mr. Kang turned around and said, What are you doing? I need to see the patient. Hurry up, Lizzie. Bewildered, she spoke up. Since he had been acting like he didn't want to help, she walked over and chided the old priest. You should have found the root cause before rushing into the treatment. Blindly. He turned to the old man and said, I told you healing wouldn't work. Priest Huis asked, If healing is useless, are you implying the girl was poisoned? It's not just treatment. I've studied nearly 100 types of toxins to master detoxification skills. A deep understanding of poisons is my pride. I assure you this patient isn't poisoned. He glanced at the old man and thought to himself, he's showing off typical healer personality, before finally speaking up. Look, I didn't say the culprit was poison. This statement caught the old man off guard. What, you don't? He ignored what the man was saying. He simply did his job. What is your name? The girl whispered back. Lena. He began investigating the cause. Miss Lena, let me examine your wound. Why do you have this injury? She sat up and recounted. A week ago, I was attacked by a rock crawler on the road to Hin village. It wasn't a very strong monster. Honestly, the wound wasn't serious at first. Lizzie, standing nearby, chimed in. But it's strange I was attacked too. He was curious. Did you two head straight to the village after being attacked by the rock crawler? Lizzie calmly recalled, No, after that, we were chased by a group of goblins in the woods, along with being hunted by a pack of crocodiles in the Mika swamp. The priest was impressed upon hearing this. These two women sure overcame plenty of obstacles, didn't they? Lizzie continued. Not long after we set foot in the village, Lena's condition suddenly took a turn for the worse. Mr. Kang continued his inquiry. Does this wound cause you any pain? Lena looked at him and answered, Pain, She sat still and really focused on feeling it. Now that I think about it, it doesn't cause me any pain at all. That answer hit the old priest like a bolt of lightning. The old man annoyedly questioned, Such a crucial detail, and you're only telling us now. Lena explained, Because I was so dizzy I didn't realize the wound didn't hurt. The old man frowned and said, I thought it was something strange, but who would have thought this was dark magic? Dark magic, the skill of using hacked mana, the exact opposite of holy power. The reason healing didn't work is clearly because she was cursed. Mr. Kang refuted everything the old man Hewis said, keeping his cool. Dark magic. If it were a curse, the healing would have made her condition even worse. But nothing was working. The old man was trembling with rage, but couldn't argue back. As he spoke, he took out a vial of medicine. The answer is right here. Reincarnation. He used a skill to distribute and absorb Lena's wound, drawing out all the spiritual energy. Hewis was shocked by the event. What did you do? The panacea is turning into bones. Lizzie panicked, jumped up and said, What? The bleeding stopped. The priest was absolutely stunned. What? He smiled and introduced it. Black mint extract. Just using a homemade panacea to catch a bug, nothing fancy. Lena stared blankly. A bug. He started using his vast knowledge to explain. Observe here. You mentioned it earlier, right? You crossed the Mika swamp. Swamps are the natural habitat of countless monster bugs. When you crossed the swamp, Lena's wound was still open, right? She confirmed. Yes. It wasn't treated immediately, but the same goes for Lizzie. He asked, Where were you two wounded by the rock crawler? Lizzie tried to remember. For me, it was the back of my hand and my cheek, and for Lena, besides her leg, there was nowhere else. Only Lena's wound was submerged in the water. From those words, he could reach a conclusion. That's it. The infection process took place in the swamp. Lena's wound became infected by the bugs because it was exposed to the water. The old priest also realized it because there was a foreign object inside her leg. It was obvious that healing couldn't stop the bleeding. It's finally clear. Lizzie suddenly shouted, So she's cured. He answered bluntly, No, this is just a temporary treatment. The wound doesn't feel painful because the bug possesses a skill that eliminates sensation. A high-tier skill for a bug. For a creature like that, the first dose of medicine isn't enough to kill them. He took out his familiar knife and slashed at the wound. Something purple emerged. It was a grotesque, multi-toothed monster. Lena's eyes widened as she looked at the disgusting thing wriggling inside her leg. Lizzie also gasped in shock. The old priest asked, What is that? He gripped the knife tightly in his hand, preparing to engage it. Must finish it off immediately. Such a troublesome thing. It's a black water leech, a leech-like monster that lives near water. Old man Hewis jumped, dropping his notebook. Oh no, not more trouble. As soon as he said that, he fell flat on his face. Mr. Kang glanced at it, but the speed of this black water leech was too fast, too dangerous. He already knew the creature's intent. That damn thing is trying to escape through the drain. Give me a weapon, hurry. He immediately lunged toward the leech. Kang Sung-hyun used all his strength to close in on it. Seeing the perfect opportunity, he nimbly slashed at its body. A puff of toxic gas sprayed from its mouth. Thankfully, he was fast enough to block it. After a while, of fighting Mr. Kang started to get tired. Damn, it's tough. Even knowing that the human blood it had absorbed over the past week would boost its strength, the leech kept dodging his blade. This growth rate is still way too fast. Lizzie saw the situation wasn't looking good, so she ran after the monster. She took a leap and latched onto the cabinet. Inside the room, she used every bit of her strength and said, "I won't let you get away." With that, she tipped over a cabinet, aiming to crush the leech. Did that thing, the one that nearly killed Lena, just get away? How is that even possible? Seriously, these leechkin are just as persistent as the real thing. It raised its head, staring right at her. Kang immediately finished it off with a kick from behind. The monster thrashed in pain, knocking everything over. He raised his knife with grim determination and drove it straight into its mouth. Since its power came from the blood it had absorbed, if he could drag out the fight, it would burn through all that blood and wither away. He pulled the knife out, and the leech started to shrivel, its size shrinking compared to before, but its tail was still thrashing wildly. With everything in its sights, it let out a hiss and lunged toward the window on the wall. It used its tail to shatter the glass. Kang frowned, recalling how thoroughly Julia had to clean the room. "Julia, I'm so sorry. If it gets into the town's canal to escape, there's no way to track it. Now it's over." He crushed a glass vial, unleashing a cycle of skills, bone radiation and absorption, enhancing the effects of the black peppermint elixir. The medicine enveloped the leech. Kang lunged at it once more, slicing firmly into its tail. Abnormal status hemorrhage. Subject depleting. Most of its body's blood supply. He encouraged himself. Almost there. Now for the finishing blow. He pulled the knife out, but bad luck, the blade snapped in two. Now he was left with only a dull knife. Priest Hewis appeared just in time and used the skill Forced Light Binding. A bunch of chains materialized out of nowhere, restraining the monster. The old man struggled to hold the chains and said, "It took me a while to cast this. I can't keep this up for long, hurry." Kang turned back, smiling. "Perfect timing. Even with the extra time, I don't have a weapon to execute the cutting skill. That broken blade is useless." Suddenly, Lizzie tossed him a high-quality knife and said, "Sir Kang Seung-hyun, use this." The monster pushed with all its might, bloating its body and breaking the chains. Old Hewis winced. "It's breaking free!" He yelled and lunged, carving its body into 100 pieces. "It's over." The priest asked, "Is it dead?" He said firmly, "Yes, for sure. Thanks to you, we caught it." "Father Hewis, do you want to keep this thing?" Hewis replied, "I don't want to touch that filthy thing." Lena was amazed by his dexterity, and even Lizzie was horrified by his skill. The speed at which he uses that skin-stitching needle is like a portable sewing machine. Standing there wiping his hands, he said, "Stitching with magic thread boosts immunity. Doing it this way won't make your leg sore for a while." Lena teared up. "To be honest, I was so scared. I thought I was going to die. Thank you, healer." He gave a kind smile. "I'm just doing my duty as a healer." Now Father Hewis had to return and report that he had failed the mission. The old man glanced at him and asked, "What was that?" He replied, "That's how I get my reward from the Adventurers Guild." Priest Hewis announced, "I'm here to report that my mission failed." Just like that, the receptionist stared at him, wide-eyed. What failed? The old man trembled and managed to reply, "That's right." She was bewildered. "No way. Father Hewis is among the highest-ranking priests at the church. If he wanted to, he could hold a much higher position. Why is—" Kang Seung-hyun walked in from afar. She finally recognized him. It was that guy. The vase-breaker Kang Seung-hyun. Lizzie stood at the reception desk, exchanging words. "So based on what we've said, can I cancel the request?" The receptionist replied dejectedly, "Yes, that's an acceptable reason. According to the rules set by the Adventurers Guild, we will refund half of the fee you paid and cancel this mission." Kang thought to himself while standing behind her, "Even though I can't take on missions as an official healer, I have the right to accept missions that have been cancelled by the guild. Sometimes people say things like, "Do you have no self-respect? How can you stick your nose into other people's missions? You don't even know how to use real healing spells." Though I understand why you're all so annoyed with me, but it's your own fault for not treating the injuries properly in the first place. That is why I became a healer. Lizzie handed him a money bag. Here, it's not much, but take this as a token of our sincerity. It also includes the half fee refunded by the guild. He took the bag and said, "Thank you. I really needed this. By the way, your dagger?" Lizzie shook her head and said, "Just keep it. Your dagger broke, didn't it? It was crafted from blue silver stone, and it fits your hand well, right? When I said I was going to be an adventurer, the people in my village made it as a gift." He asked curiously, "Is it that important? Will you be okay?" She hesitated. "I just wanted to apologize too. To me, nothing is more important than the lives of my teammates." He nodded with a smile. "In that case, thank you. I'll give you a 10% discount next time, but don't get hurt too soon." Lizzie laughed and replied, "You got it." He opened the money bag and counted 650,000, 700,000 gold coins in total. "I urgently need 2 million gold coins. Buying that crossbow will cost over 2 million, and I need to keep some for self-defense too. Time to spin the roulette 5 times in a row." I spun the roulette wheel for 100 points. I got trash items just 1 gold coin all 4 times. Same result every single time. I'm so bored I don't even want to talk about it. It's all just gold. Even though I really need the money, getting just a few measly coins from these spins. If you're looking for a fair game here, you're just getting scammed, guys. System, you have received a new skill. At the very least, I managed to quickly pick up a skill from the last spin. The air attribute allows the user to brew potions with similar properties. Kang, interested in wind attributes, must be a wind-based potion, then not bad at all. Now he just needed a hut to appear before him, so he could bravely step inside. "Pardon me," a voice called out. "Doctor, how tense," he thought. Judging by the voice, it seemed she was asking, "Just take whatever you need." She was an apothecary. Hearing him say, "I'm here to sell, not to buy," she tossed an octopus aside. "What are you waiting for?" "Hand it over, Kang." He found it strange. A customer who prefers selling over buying. "What kind of shop is this?" He said, "I just found this." She examined it and asked, "A black water butterfly, has someone been to the Mika swamp?" He answered honestly, "Yes, but it wasn't me." She touched it. "Appraised value halved. It's injured and scratched in many places, so this won't fetch a good price." The butterfly's magnificent teeth caught her eye. "This side, did you just stand there playing with a man-eating plant?" she asked. He replied, "So how much?" "Around 30,000. She countered, "How about 3 million? He froze upon hearing that price. "Nani, you just said it wasn't worth much. Are you obsessed with these things?" La bluntly replied, "Of course not. Look at this. The color of its teeth is different from its kin. Usually they're black. This is a mutated black water butterfly. Mutation is a branch of evolved monsters. They are stronger than the common ones and possess superpowers." He immediately asked, "Not much different from a rare monster, then?" She explained, "It's quite distinct, actually. Even when unblemished, the remains of rare monsters can only be used to create variant materials. They are very rare and haven't been studied thoroughly yet. That's why they're so expensive." He smiled, saying, "No wonder you're so interested, apothecary." She glanced at him. "And you, what do you think?" For someone whose eyes lit up at the sight of money, he agreed instantly. Obviously, it's a deal. The two shook hands, a handshake worth 3 million gold. The transaction was successful. She said happily, "This is why I like you." He replied politely, "The feeling is mutual." Kang marched into the weapons shop, bag full of money, hurried to the owner, placed the bag on the table, and said, 14 million gold coins. Check it if you want." The owner was stunned. Already? He smiled. I really need that crossbow. It's still here, right? The owner replied, Of course, wait a moment. The owner retrieved the crossbow and handed it to him. Thank you. He caressed the weapon with both hands. So from now on, it belongs to me. He put on a cool expression and asked, Satisfied? Not yet. A mysterious voice appeared. Did I mess up somewhere? The owner looked at his strange behavior and stared blankly, wondering, where is he looking? He didn't know. At the Autumn Rhythm Inn, Kang stepped inside, looking around. If I can achieve this, not enough. Kang took out the divine crossbow and stored it in the system inventory. The system confirmed task successful. He thought, now. The system screen suddenly glitched. He was extremely surprised. What is this? What's wrong with it? What the hell is happening? The system notification appeared flickering. I guess this is a message telling me I've completed the quest. You have possessed the legacy and reached the status. But what are the rest? A stranger spoke up. Sorry, but I think the system is broken. Kang gritted his teeth, annoyed. Don't kid me, I already got the crossbow. You guys stop following me and show your faces. Come here and talk to me. Suddenly, the system notified him again. A black star icon appeared. Did this symbol represent the person following him? The system displayed in big letters, understood. I will answer 5 questions. Kang remembered the first time he was transported to the continent of On. The people who were transported with him either had to try to survive or had already died in the cave. Everyone couldn't cooperate. They argued about whether to stay here or find a way back to Earth. He stood up alone and voiced his opinion. Whatever we do, we need money. How about this? Let's find jobs that pay well and fit everyone's skills. After splitting up and adapting to this world, those who wanted to return to Earth tried to find a way, and 3 years passed. He pondered. 5 questions. I have a chance to learn how to return to my world. The messages were getting shorter. This thing is limited. Add out to a certain level. I need to think carefully about this. The first question he asked, Are you the entity that brought us to the continent of On? The system showed a big round 0. 4 questions left. He deduced, Just as I thought. Then what kind of monster are you? What is your purpose? The system again showed only the letter O. He felt dejected. So it can only answer yes or no. The next question was put forward. Is there any way for me to return to Earth? The result surely everyone could guess. Ha! The third question. Has anyone returned successfully? A giant X appeared. Not even one person, huh? A giant red X appeared. Seriously? Not even a single person. So even Kim Jae-hyung couldn't figure it out. The only way to get real info is through yes or no questions. I bet you didn't bring us here for no reason. You must have some kind of goal, though. Looks like you haven't achieved it yet. What do you want from us, Earthlings? I'll enter 2 options into the status window. Which one is closer to your goal? 1. Collecting. Collecting items. 2. Using skills to become stronger. There are exactly 4 ways for it to answer these questions via the status window. If the answer is option 1, then say O. If it's 2, say X. The system replies O. Final question. Which are you more interested in? Reply O for points or X for items. The system still shows O. I think hard. I get it now. Basically, this jerk brought us here to be point farming slaves. It really ticks me off, but if you look at it, from an objective point of view, if I'm the only one who knows this much, then I'm the one closest to its goal. I don't care what you're doing, but I need to know your identity, and then I'll find a way back to Earth. Are you a god of the On continent? Maybe I'm out of questions, but I'll answer that if I were you. If you want to help me, then be honest. System notification. Points deducted. My accumulated points 52. I freeze for 5 seconds. Accumulated points 32. Accumulated points 12. Accumulated points 5. I ask furiously, what the hell do you think you're doing? Give my points back. Account balance 0 points. I shrug, then start pulling at my hair. That's it. I'm going to kill you even if you are a god. Mission earn 5,000 bonus points. I'm curious. A mission window. And the reward is a skill I've never seen a mission system like this before. It takes my points and gives me a mission in return. Does it need points to manage this system? It still doesn't forget to tell me to take my time earning points. I think to myself it might be hard to communicate at the moment. Fine, this time I'll do as you say, but I expect a decent reward. Even though I really want to call you a demon, a ruler, a slave trader, an evil creature. But since you manage the status window from now on, I'll call you admin. On a beautiful morning, Kang Seung-hoon sits relaxed in the shop, sipping some bread, and complains. The smell of this little meat sandwich is gross. The system pops up. Notification: you have learned a new skill, Freya's crossbow. You can summon Freya's crossbow at will. Freya's crossbow is now linked to you. You can switch it to Freya's wristband form. So the reward is a unique crossbow skill. Combining it with other skills isn't bad at all. I click to select. Freya's roulette added to info window. 50 points per use. Received item 5 free roulette tickets. There's a roulette wheel for this crossbow. Well, let's try it. Use item 5 free roulette tickets. The wheel spins like crazy. I look surprised. Result: additional damage +1. Result: additional on damage +1. Result: attack speed +1. Skill: Freya's destiny bag. Soul points increased. I ponder. This unique thing, only Freya's crossbow has it. It gives me stats and an extra skill. Plus, it doesn't have that annoying gold stuff. It even gives extra points for every soul point I get. I hope every time is like this. Kim Jong-ho walks in looking depressed. So sleepy. Seeing him, I stand up happily and say, "There you are." As soon as he sees me, he regains some energy. "Dr. Kang, you're here." I speak up. "Kim Jong-ho, come with me for a second. I have a few things I need to talk to you about." A sharp scream rings out. "What?" Kim Jong-ho is still skeptical. "Is it for real?" "We were dragged here just for those points." I answer, "In essence, yes." He's frustrated. "What do they take us for, just a bunch of slaves?" But still, I'm so glad. I thought I was going to die before I could ever step foot back home. We can finally go back. He says, crying his eyes out like a child. I seriously warn him, stop crying and listen carefully to what I'm about to say. I don't know how much of this he's hearing, but I really have to try to grind points like crazy. "Dr. Kang, you're having trouble earning points, right?" I explain, "I just need to treat injuries. But first, injuries caused by me won't count when I treat them." I think to myself, if they counted, he'd be punching people all day and then offering to heal them. Treating teammates is fine. If I treat my teammates' injuries on the spot, I can earn points really fast. So what's your proposal? I reach out my hand and say, "Kim Jong-ho, be my supporter." Actually, I've already planned everything in my head. Now I need a temporary teammate. The right person for the supporter position is one of the Dimension Travelers. Someone who already knows about the system and status screens, and it has to be someone I trust. Among countless others thinking back at this moment only, Kim Jong-ho can help me. If Dr. Kang asks, of course I have to say yes. I smile with satisfaction, knowing he'd accept right away. Suddenly, Jong-ho grabs a knife and says, "All right, now I will offer this body. To you, Kang Seung-hoon Doctor. This is an investment in points, so you can earn them. Doctor, hurry up, save me, heal me, and take the points." Saying that only makes Jung-ho self-destruct even more, and it won't earn me any extra points, Kang shouted in despair after having treated him. Once the wounds were treated, Jung-ho realized that he just had to take down a few monsters like he usually does. "I just need to do that right. But this is pushing it a bit too hard, don't you think?" Kang encouraged Jung-ho. "Everyone should live diligently." Just then, the familiar receptionist spoke up. "Welcome to the Adventurers Guild." But as she looked closer, she realized it was that contract breaker back again so soon. Look at his face. She thought that excited look he gets when ruining every contract I have to hide the medical contracts. Kim Jung-ho noticed her sour expression and asked, "What did you do to make her look like that?" Kang replied, "Nothing major. Let's see. Are there any viable contracts?" Mr. Kim Jung-ho, look at this. There are many contracts coming in from the Brock Mountains today. Jung-ho explained. That's because the monster population has suddenly surged lately. The receptionist suddenly appeared behind them. It is currently the mutation period for monsters in the Brock Mountains, so we will be posting extermination contracts periodically. During this time, you can use the base camp set up by the Adventurers Guild. Are you two interested? Kang found it intriguing. A base camp, huh? What better place to grind points than an area filled with adventurers? These extermination contracts are perfect. We'll take them. The girl looked thrilled, as if everything was going according to plan. I have confirmed the contracts. I wish you both the best of luck. Welcome to the Brock Mountains base camp. My name is Velo. At the camp, we will provide rewards based on the number of monsters you capture. The western path you arrived on may be safe, but other areas are full of secrets, so please be careful. Kim Jung-ho and Kang Seo-hyun prepared. Fully equipped, Kang excitedly asked, "Mr. Kim Jung-ho, are you ready?" Jung-ho was fired up too. Of course, time to harvest some gold. Suddenly, rocks and dirt flew everywhere as a swarm of steel claw moles appeared. He used his Freya's Destiny Pouch skill. They lunged the moment they left the camp area. The crossbows in his inventory were confirmed, creating stone bolts. He fired a bolt and it slammed into a mole. Thanks to this skill, he didn't need to reload every time. The damage is even higher than I thought. A mole went berserk, opening its mouth to reveal razor-sharp teeth. Seeing this, Kim Jung-ho shouted to warn Dr. Kang. Just as the mole was about to swipe at him with its claws, Jung-ho appeared in the nick of time to take the hit for him. Kang cried out in worry, "Mr. Kim Jung-ho." Though in pain, Jung-ho didn't flinch. "Don't, Ida, worry about me. Keep fighting." He used Freya's connection pouch to create a health potion arrow. Jung-ho turned back and asked, "Did you shoot an arrow at me?" Kang smiled. "It was a healing arrow. I just wanted to confirm that others would be fine, even if they got hit by it." Jung-ho said sadly, "You can't treat me like a lab rat like that." They continued to fight. Kang kept firing arrows at the mole horde, while Jung-ho used nothing but his sword, sending countless dead moles piling up like straw. Velo couldn't believe it. Just 2 of them, and they caught this many, and they're all steel claw moles. He said, "These aren't just iron moles no matter what they are. Mr. Kim Jung-ho catches them all." Velo said fearfully, "I will calculate the results immediately. Please wait a moment. Take your time." People in the camp began to whisper about the 2. What is this speed? What's the count? Who could they be? At the very least, we know they aren't ordinary adventurers. Yeah, but no matter how talented they are with that pile of personal bandages and gauze, surely, then they must be so poor they can't afford to hire a real healer. Hearing this, Kim Jung-ho's anger flared up. How dare these blind fools say such things without knowing how amazing a healer Dr. Kang is? Kang spoke up to soothe his anger. "Hearing you say that makes me happy." Jung-ho asked, "Aren't you angry, Dr. Kang? Those guys need to see your skills for themselves to open their eyes." Kang smiled calmly. "No need. It's a waste of energy on people like that. Anyway, they're really arriving late, aren't they?" Kim Jung-ho wondered. Huh. Just then, someone inside was severely injured. "A healer. I'm looking for a healer." Kang smiled at Jung-ho. "The patients I was waiting for." Screams erupted everywhere. "Healer. We need a healer. Can we get treated here right now?" Kim Jung-ho observed the surroundings. Even though it was night, the number of injured people kept increasing. "Dr. Kang, you could earn a fortune here." Seo-hyun remained calm. "I'm fine, but there are so many patients here." Suddenly, someone cried out in pain. He made a decision. "I have my own patients now." That patient. Would it be a bother if I took a look at him? A man asked suspiciously, Who are you? Who are you people? Seo Hyun recognized them at a glance. Those are the jerks who laughed at us earlier. Looks like you guys don't have the money to hire a healer. The man still held on to his pride and refused the help. Thanks, but I'm not incompetent. I don't think I need an outsider's help. He went straight to the patient. Is this the reason the patient ended up in this condition? At least they treated him half decently. It appeared the patient had been attacked around the arm and shoulder. His observation eye skill activated. Paralysis due to infection. One could see wild animal bites on the patient's body. There was an open wound, but it seemed to have healed recently. Jung-ho asked, Did you find anything? You can see bite marks from wild beasts on the patient's body. There was an open wound, but it looks like it healed up recently. Jung-ho asked, Did you notice anything else? Seung-hyun checked the pulse. It looked like the man had been bitten by wild beasts, and his arm was paralyzed from stiff joints. He pondered, Paralyzed, huh, I see. Could he have been bitten by Boruto hounds? The other person objected, Don't make me laugh. Paralysis venom doesn't cause that much pain to humans. He confidently asserted, The paralysis venom of Boruto hounds is truly unique if specific conditions are met. Next, he used a small knife to slice open the wound. Everyone watching was terrified. What is that? The flesh in that area has already rotted away. This is the effect of necrotic venom. What should we do? What should we do? Well, we should do this. He took out a crossbow and aimed it straight ahead. Everyone was stunned. Hey, you stop right there. You came looking for trouble from the start, didn't you? He coldly ordered Kim Jung-ho, please get rid of the people who aren't involved. He immediately followed orders. Did you hear that? Don't distract this healer. Get lost, Seung-hyun thought to himself. If I want to quickly remove the toxins from the various parts of his body, this is the most feasible method. He could craft an elixir compatible with a person's attributes, plus the skill, Freya's pouch, Wind Arrow Elixir, was activated in succession. 5 Wind Arrow Elixirs were launched. The others were scared to death. I don't dare look anymore. Have you lost your mind? How can you just kill someone like that? Seung-hyun heard the word kill and found it ridiculous. Don't call someone who is still living and breathing a dead man. The wounded man's expression looked a bit better. Everyone buzzed with talk. He was shot with an arrow and he's still okay. Furthermore, even the toxins were neutralized. Healing with arrows is truly insane, guys. I've never seen anything this crazy in my whole life. He spoke up to explain, Boruto hounds are weak against the wind element. Even the toxins they use are affected by the air. So, if we treat this person at a place with stable air, I guarantee that this toxin will disappear naturally. Jung-ho suddenly noticed, wait, so this person's condition became serious because the previous healer wrapped up his wound. The guy stammered. What? Seung-hyun laughed and said, Exactly. If that other healer had been a bit smarter and hadn't wrapped up the wound, it would have been simpler. I think something like that probably won't happen again. His gaze became frightening. Right. The people around all agreed. That makes sense, but how could he heal so recklessly? He's right. It would have been better if that guy had just left the patient alone. He cursed and turned to run away. Jung-ho laughed with satisfaction. It feels so good. A while later, the wound was carefully bandaged. Now your arm is completely healed, but you should still be careful until your body has fully recovered. He answered with emotion, Yes, thank you so much. Jung-ho suddenly realized, but isn't it strange, why is this guy here all by himself? Where is his team? Seung-hyun had also unintentionally missed this detail. Now that you mention it, I just noticed. There's no way someone would go hunting alone at night. Hey, you, where are the rest of your team? The man replied, Our squad was ambushed, and now everyone has been separated. He trembled with self-reproach. It can't be. Could I be the only one left alive? Oh God, I shouldn't have run away alone. The Boruto hounds just kept lunging out of nowhere. Jung-ho felt that something was wrong. That's strange, isn't it? Boruto hounds don't usually attack in such large packs. Sung-hyun also realized something was not right. Could it be a sudden increase in the number of monsters, and the rest of the missing people from the squad must have been caused by a rare monster? That is the most logical explanation. It seemed like they were trapped inside a dungeon. He carried a lantern and followed him. What if they've all perished? Let's hope not. Suddenly he stopped. Did you hear that? There was someone shouting, "Damn it, you bastards!" Sung-hyun realized something unusual. Kim Jung-ho the lantern, he immediately replied, "Got it." The ferocious hounds were lunging at them. Immediately, the wind arrow elixir was crafted and fired straight at them. He concernedly asked, "Are you okay?" He trembled all over. "Yes, thank you." Jung-ho fearfully called out, "Dr. Kang over there. In the distance it's full of corpses." He speculated, "It seems they've entered their territory." He analyzed, "This pile of corpses includes both humans and beasts. It seems they've been decomposing for quite a while. They don't look like they all died recently." He wondered, "Don't Boruto hounds prefer fresh meat? I'm sure they don't have the habit of hoarding their prey's carcasses like this." There are still some that like to eat rotting flesh. They are the undead. They are creatures that have already died, but can move again thanks to dark magic. They are the things that priests hate the most. Kang Sung-hyun took out his crossbow. "This is going to be annoying." Jung-ho anxiously asked, "Can the two of us handle it?" The hounds let out a roar and charged simultaneously. "Don't even think about it." Jung-ho had managed to stop them just in time. He shouted loudly, "Get down, Kim Jung-ho!" Right after that, using the Freya's pouch skill, he crafted a wind arrow. Sung-hyun suddenly called out, "Kim Jung-ho," then aimed the crossbow at him. It turned out it was just a vaccine shot. He was scared to death. At least, it gave me a warning beforehand. A long time passed, and the battle still had no end. Damn it, there are too many of them. Suddenly they froze. Jung-ho was excited. The wind elixir is effective. Sung-hyun kept fighting without resting. He unintentionally noticed one dog that looked quite strange. What is it doing? Since the battle started, it hasn't moved at all, as if it's waiting for its comrades to die. Could it be? He unleashed a finishing blow. That's the last one. Immediately, the dog in the distance let out a howl and transformed. Sung-hyun also guessed that the dog was a necromancer. He was shocked to hear this. A dog that knows necromancy. Ah, what now? If it goes like this, it'll be morning. Jung-ho seriously asked, "Do you think you can defeat it if we get close enough?" Hearing the answer was yes, he immediately stepped forward. "Then leave this one to me." Sung-hyun suddenly remembered, that's right, even though he looks like a weak mage, but now Kim Jung-ho's role is to act as the tank. When I use the swarm taunt skill, it speeds up the monsters, which basically means that this kind of skill might get me killed instantly. "Dr. Kang, do you trust me?" I nodded slightly, thanking Kim Jung-ho. Now dealing with one corpse demon is easy. According to what Lathi said, the source of a rare monster's power usually looks like a relic. If you run into a troublesome one, just track down that object and smash it. I switched to my clairvoyance skill. Found it. The relic is in its chin. Then I used the fling skill. Here's my chance. Next is the Freya's pouch skill to craft wind-piercing arrows. Suddenly, something leaped out from the nearby bushes. I realized it planted one here. My hand was bitten off by it. "You foolish human. How dare you touch the relic?" As soon as I turned, I was right in front of its jaws. "I'll swallow you whole." I focused all my energy, used the Freya's crossbow skill, then retracted it. I felt a bit relieved. Lucky, huh? Then I resummoned the crossbow. "Where's my other hand? Take that." It didn't see that coming. I shot it straight in the chin. "Die, you mangy mutt." I did it. I'll never let this happen again. I hurriedly used the stop bleeding skill. Where did my arm roll off to? Found it. Here, I saved this for you. I took my arm back. Thanks for finding it. I replied politely, the one who should be thanking you is me. You saved my wrist. Let me help you heal. I asked curiously, are you a healer? She replied, yes, my name is Kale. Thank you, but I can do it myself. I turned to the side. Could you help the person over there instead? I think that person needs your help more. She was surprised. There's still a survivor. Yes. I ran around. Kim Jung-ho, where are you? Dr. Kang, pull me out. I was stuck and couldn't move. I realized there was someone else here who needed help too. Jung-ho stood up and dusted himself off. I thought you were dead because you were squashed flat. Well, at least we both survived. Jung-ho looked worried. Your wrist is still completely severed. But I calmly replied, this is actually lucky. Jung-ho was speechless. You're way too optimistic, man. Jung-ho asked again, so what are we going to do about this place? I replied, we'll leave it to the guys from the Eva church. Back at the base camp, I immediately started treating it. First, I needed to adjust the position of the injured wrist, then use my mouth to stitch it in place. Even though the stitches were loose, it was still held together. I'll quickly stitch it up with my other hand. Done. Jung-ho, who was nearby, spoke up. You actually did it yourself. Why didn't you ask that Kale person to help? I replied, I hate relying on other healers. Suddenly, someone called out, Mr. Kang Sung-hyun, the priests are here. I'm coming out. I ran out immediately while Jung-ho let out a long yawn. I am Kaznina from the Evangel Angin Church. I observed the person carefully. Her holy power and her physique clearly showed she was a high-ranking priest. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the healer Kang Sung-hyun. As soon as I finished, there was a murmur of gossip. That's Kang Sung-hyun. Oh my, why him? I'm terrified of that guy. Kaznina shouted loudly, quiet please, order, forgive us. We've heard a lot about you from Priest Hewis. Ah, how is Priest Hewis doing? I got straight to the point. The undead monsters appeared over there. Follow me. I led them to the spot. A moment later, everyone arrived. Looking around at all the corpses, someone exclaimed, oh God, what a disaster. Team 1, purify the dark mana from this area. Team 2, search the surroundings. And Team 3, transport the bodies to the camp. Finally, Team 4, gather and incinerate the infected remains. Everyone replied in unison, understood. Holy flames erupted violently. Someone was amazed. This is my first time seeing undead being incinerated. It's overwhelming. I explained, if you don't burn them, those corpses could come back to life, Mr. Kang Sung-hyun. Kaznina was surprised. She gestured to the undead. Could you take a look at these rare ones? I accepted. Sure, why not? I observed them carefully. It's bad, I thought. It really was bad, but she was likely talking about the dark mana. Kaznina added, I want to take this corpse back to the church to investigate the root cause and figure out its appearance. Of course, I don't expect to take it for free. This is holy water created by the Ever Church. It's called Dawn Holy Water. I was stunned. Huh, Dawn Holy Water. I still didn't really get it. Is it that valuable? She began to explain, Dawn Holy Water is created by placing pure water in a chapel at dawn and praying for an entire year. It requires so much effort and devotion. Even in the camp, it radiates immense holy power. Just one bottle can purify hundreds, no thousands of undead. If you give us the corpse, we will pay you with Dawn Holy Water. You can't buy this even with money. I smiled faintly. When I smashed that relic, I thought I had lost out. If you need it, please take it. Of course I will compensate you. Kaznina thanked me politely. And I say this on behalf of the Evo Church in Hin Village. Thank you for your hard work in hunting these corrupted creatures and defeating them in such a lonely battle. We sincerely thank you. I smiled brightly. I'm just doing what I should. They gritted their teeth in anger. He'll even heal the undead if there's money involved. I happily continued, I'm just a healer who Can't stand those insidious undead. A panicked call rang out. Mr. Kang Sung-hyun, Mr. Kang Sung-hyun, wake up. I struggled to get up. What happened? They told me the manager of the Adventurers Guild had come to see me. Reagan Hustler laughed loudly. Adventurer Kang Sung-hyun, I've heard all about you. You defeated a rare undead monster, did you? I'm proud of you, kid. My voice remained somber. Thank you for visiting, sir. He was excited. I heard the news, how could I not come? Sung-hyun's gaze was cold, almost laughable. That Reagan Hustler, a greedy, incompetent man. There was no way he could ever have any respect for someone so notorious in the association. Just as I thought. It's clear he's plotting something. Then he snapped his fingers. I'm very grateful for your hard work protecting the peace in Hin Village. I've prepared a small gift for you. Velo's eyes widened. Golden Vitality Mushroom, he muttered, looking surprised. Explain this to me, you said. He spoke up. Vitality mushrooms are used as ingredients for restorative magic potions, and the Golden Vitality Mushroom is the rarest of them all. It's a legendary item that boosts stamina to the maximum level. Seung-hyun immediately grabbed it and downed it in one gulp. His stamina increased by 3%. As the manager of the Ruin region, thank you so much, he said, his face still beaming. It's good that you like it, he said, but the glass bottle was tossed onto the ground. You didn't come all the way here just to give me this, did you? I'm tired now, so don't waste my time. You want the Dawn Holy Water, right? He flashed a sinister smile. I like how sharp you are. That is something money cannot buy. So I want to trade it for something else that money cannot buy. The interdimensional traveler Kang Sung-hyun. Ruin was extremely confident. Am I right? You're an interdimensional traveler from another world. Sung-hyun was surprised, wondering what he knows about interdimensional travelers. How much does he actually know? He continued, It's a shame, really. Interdimensional travelers possess many special abilities. However, because your origins aren't clear, you're often not treated with kindness. Even if you prove your own abilities, you still cannot attain a status that reflects them. And here, there is even a healer who hasn't been officially recognized as a healer yet. What do you mean? Sung-hyun asked. He smirked and replied, If you hand over the Dawn Holy Water, I promise to give you a healer's badge and ensure the Hus family backs you. You replied, But according to the rules, I can't become an official healer. Ruin laughed. Rules? Do you think those rules? I can hold back, Ruin the healer. You will be honored as a healer by a noble family if you accept this condition. You could even become a royal healer. In short, your life will begin to blossom even in the face of adversity. You still couldn't believe it. Can I really become a royal healer? He replied calmly while sipping his tea. That is a price worth paying for the Dawn Holy Water. If I get the Dawn Holy Water, I can move to a much bigger, more luxurious place. Not just this tiny rural backwater like Hin Village anymore. Turning a freak like him into an official healer is as easy as flipping my hand for me. He couldn't believe his ears. Your next words made him freeze. Then I will decline this offer. Ruin stammered. What, you're refusing? Seung-hyun sighed. Yes, refusing. I don't need to bribe someone just to get recognition because I am already qualified enough to be a healer. He cursed under his breath. How arrogant. Then he offered more attractive terms. What about a donation? Is there really a chance for the Hus family to support you? It wasn't easy. You replied indifferently. About this, from what I've heard, you don't. But have much authority in your own family. Do you? Those conditions aren't credible at all, so I'm refusing. Ruin couldn't hold back anymore. How dare you insult me? Velo quickly said, Please calm down, sir. Young-ho was also surprised. Are those people really that generous? They gave me this as a reward. Seung-hyun was curious. What did you get? This is a bloodstone of thirst which helps increase attack power. You thought to yourself. He was willing to give up a pretty good item. Just then, you hinted, You know I took down a swarm of zombies with a teammate. You looked at the item and commented, That's a good item. The alarm sounded. Monsters are attacking from the south, north, and west. Monsters are closing in on the adventurers. Please join the defense of the camp. They're coming again. We have to stop them to protect the village. Let's go. Young-ho immediately agreed. Got it. Everyone began to counterattack. Sung-hyun crafted Brea's stone arrows while Young-ho used his blood pulse skill. Compared to what we went through the other day, this fight is way too simple. Suddenly, a boss monster appeared. Shoot and attack it. This is the last one, let's go. Young-ho worried. I don't think the stone arrows will work. Nadiu on that thing. You smiled to yourself. That's why I prepared this. You had crafted the metal claw-string arrows. The boy was amazed and shouted, the arrow pierced its skin. You ordered, aim for that spot. He immediately attacked directly at it. Dr. Kang, the time has come. Seung-hyun jumped high and used his throwing skill. The boss monster was hit and flattened to the ground. Everyone was overjoyed. We won! We protected the village! Adventurers, well done. That final attack was amazing. Was that the group that took down the rare spirit monster? Young-ho felt proud of himself. I'm so smug. We've become heroes. You replied, I earned quite a few points, 3 points. The boy asked curiously, are you going to use them? Stop it. The gacha never gives you anything good. I'm telling you, don't. Sung-hyun was still determined. Who knows? What if I get lucky? He was completely confident. I'll bet 100,000 gold. You're just going to get a bunch of trash. The result of the spin was exactly as Young-ho predicted. Didn't I tell you? It's just that you only ever get garbage items. The spin result was exactly as Young-ho predicted. I said, it didn't. Hey, wait a sec, Sir Kang Sung-hoon. Sung-hoon, what did Velo ask you about? Huh. Huh. We stopped a massive disaster, and it's all thanks to you two. Thank you so much. Think nothing of it. Why aren't they moving out of this camp? Huh. Until the priests finish their survey, they're delaying the departure. And here's a special reward from the camp. We'd like to give you both this. Jung-ho looks surprised. Honey mead. Let's go to the tavern together. Jung-ho cheers. Let's have a drink to celebrate our success. Sung-hoon didn't see this coming either. Who would have thought they'd give us something like this? I heard all the workers in this camp come from Hin Village. Heh, that's mostly true. But they're outsiders, right? Suddenly someone notices the fake healer, Kang Seung-hoon. You're Ross, right? He is just as surprised. No way, I never expected to meet you here. Young-ho asks curiously. An acquaintance of yours, he replies vaguely. Something like that. A patient I treated just a few days ago, he recalls happily. You really helped me out so much back then. He takes out a pouch. Doctor, this is the treatment fee I hadn't paid you yet. Oh, I totally forgot about that, Seung-hoon suddenly remembers. Oh, right. While we're at it, here's that sword you let me hold on to last time. Ross hugs his precious item emotionally. Oh my god, I missed you so much, baby, Jung-ho whispers. Is there something wrong with that guy's head? Seung-hoon is a doctor. But even he doesn't know. After chatting for a while, Ross learns a few things. So, you two have been staying in the camp up until today, he asks back. And you're on a break after finishing your contract, right? He nods. If you guys have time, maybe you could take a look at this. He hands over an invitation to a party. Recently, a portal to a dungeon appeared near Hin Village. The villagers said they plan to go in and explore in 3 days. So my cousin invited me to join their party. But I've still got debts to pay off, so I can't go. Young-ho sounds cynical. That's a life lesson right there. Even if you're starving, never borrow money from the guild. Sung-hoon suggests, so what should we do? The dungeon conquest reward sounds. It sounds pretty good, actually, he says casually. I'm fine with it. We can go. Ross is overjoyed. Thank you both so much. What a relief. If it's them, I can completely trust them. He chuckles to himself. Those jerks. Do you even know how pathetic you look when you're begging for my help? 3 days later, Jung-ho asks with concern, "Dr. Kang, are you all prepared?" He replies calmly, "Yeah. My wrist hasn't fully healed, but I'm ready to go collect that 100,000 gold coin reward." He doesn't hear him right and asks, "What? Oh my god, you already got it." It's Fricka's arrow retrieval. It allows the user to restore used arrows to their original state. Seung-hoon recounts, "I met Kale yesterday, and he gave me some kind of blessing or something. Is he a follower of Nakam or what?" He continues, "That must be why my luck has been skyrocketing lately. I was wondering if it would actually work, but now that I see it, I get it." He's stunned. "No way. Enough, pull yourself together. Let's go." Later, the two of them arrive at Black Hat Hill. A girl, a swordswoman, and Ross's cousin comes to greet them. "Hello, I'm Tina Putin. I've already heard about you two from Ross." He shakes her hand. "I'm the healer, Kang Seung-hoon, and this is Kim Jung-ho." She looks curious. He looks a bit... He tells her not to pay attention. Whispering starts. "He's a healer. How could that be?" The person standing there, his holy power is hitting rock bottom. They point at Jung-ho. "That guy is weird too. What kind of tanker wears a cloak like that?" He looks blank. "What's wrong with how I'm dressed? My clothes have their own value, okay?" Another person walks over slowly. Now, everyone calm down. They came here to help us. You should mind your manners a bit. By the way, my name is I." Jung-ho thinks happily. This person seems a bit more decent. "You look sharp." "Are you the leader?" Lakamati speaks up unhappily. "I'm the leader here. So if everyone is here, let's get going." Everyone stands inside the circle. A flash of light erupts, and they all arrive in front of an ancient dungeon. Suyin uses a light spell to lead the way. Seung-hoon observes, "Everything here is so run down. Usually erosion is caused by weathering, or water, right? Since this place is deep inside ruins, it couldn't have been weathering. But I don't feel any moisture at all. Could it be dark magic?" Jung-ho calls out. Lakamati, "You said you're a warrior, but you also know how to heal, right? That should be called a physical therapist." He snaps back annoyedly. "For heaven's sake, I'm a priest." "A priest?" Sahida looks tense, still not seeing any reaction from the holy power user. Suddenly, Seung-hoon notices something. "It's giant scarabs!" Suyin screams in fear. "So gross!" Everyone starts attacking them. Too gross. After a while, things aren't looking good. Ali yells, "There are too many of them. We can't kill them all. Someone clear a path straight ahead." "Let's run," Seung-hoon calls to her. Suyin, "Do you know how to use wind magic?" She answers while running. Yes. He immediately uses his skill, Water Mist. He releases the effect of peppermint poison into the surroundings, and it spreads combined with her gale. A while later, the scarabs are wiped out. "How did you do that?" Seung-hoon refuses to answer. "It's a military secret, I can't reveal it." Suyin persistently follows him. "Tell me, what kind of magic was that?" Lakamati stood from afar, admiring how just those two were able to wipe out the entire horde of giant bugs. Ali happily walked over. "You guys worked hard, let's each have a bottle before we keep going." "Oh, this is awesome, thanks, I'll take one." Seung-hoon looked suspicious. "A high dose of mana. Liquid mana like this is pretty expensive. Is it really okay for you to just give it away like this? You already gave one to him." He smiled while taking it. "I have an acquaintance who works at a pharmacy, so I get it at a discount." "Oh, is that so? Well, then I won't stand on ceremony. I never expected there to be someone so kind in this world, though this feeling is strangely familiar." Jung-ho suddenly stopped. "Wait, it's a fork in the road." Their expressions changed instantly. "What is that?" From the left, an overwhelming amount of dark mana surged. Ali guessed, "A trap, maybe." Lakamati gritted his teeth. "Don't even think about it, just choose the path on the right." No, Seung-hoon was full of confidence. "We are choosing the left." He brushed off Kang Seung-hoon's opinion. This made leader Lakamati furious. He lunged and grabbed the protagonist by the collar, nearly punching him in the face. Dong-ho and Tina rushed over to intervene, fearing a brawl. It was worth nothing. This didn't dampen Lakamati's rage. On the contrary, it made his words even more venomous. We never should have let a rookie like that join from the start. Tina was stunned, standing frozen in place. Sueva and Sahita had been on the leader's side from the beginning, so they spoke up in his defense. In the end, their team split into two groups, each going their own way. Watching Lakamati and his two teammates Sueva and Sahita drift further away, Seung-hyun finally spoke up. He adjusted his gear and asked Tina for her reason, to which she simply replied that she trusted him, mostly because Ross had introduced him, which put her somewhat at ease. Ali didn't join the argument, but chose to believe in Seung-hyun. He felt a sense of warmth, determined not to let the trust of his two new teammates go to waste. As for the other three, the path they chose was quite peaceful. Nothing happened, and there were no monsters. They kept walking until they accidentally stepped into a formation set into the floor. Strange. Sounds echoed, drawing everyone's attention. Everyone started searching around to see what had emitted such a horrifying noise. Sway discovered a trap under the floor and quickly warned his teammates. Before they could jump away, sharp spears shot up from the ground. Anyone unlucky enough to get skewered would be dead. But luckily, Lakamati and Sui were quick on their feet and dodged it in time. Sahita wasn't as fortunate. She was pierced in the leg by two spears and collapsed to the ground, blood staining the floor. Lakamati hurriedly used light magic to heal Sahita, but it had no effect. Instead, it made the wound significantly worse. Lakamati realized Sahita had been hit with dark magic. A cursed wound, and only a priest could break this curse. Seeing the young girl screaming in pain, it wasn't easy at all for a leader like Lakamati. Seung-hyun's group had just arrived. His appearance was like a moonlight beam saving them. Tina stood in the magic circle and discovered it was broken, but just then it was still working well enough to injure a female cleric. Lakamati felt something unusual. The dark magic seal was reacting strongly to the holy power. This trap was set for a priest. Who did this? Before he could think any further, Lakamati hurriedly begged for Sahita to be healed, but Seung-hyun coldly refused. Why should I do that? You guys didn't listen to the group member's opinion. Lakamati was extremely angry, but seeing the life-threatening situation of his teammate, he had no other choice. He lowered his voice to apologize to Seung-hyun, and even knelt down, sincerely begging for his help. Seeing that he had finally surrendered, Seung-hyun chuckled to himself and quickly used his skills to heal her. Dong-ho couldn't help but wonder, how could he have the skill to use holy power to break a curse? Though he didn't have such high-level skills, Seung-hyun had a bottle of pure holy water. Just one drop was enough for this curse. He said that, and dripped it onto the spreading wound on her leg. A miracle occurred. Light flashed, slowly healing Sahita. She stopped groaning or feeling intense pain. Lakamati had bad thoughts again, worrying that Sahita would lose her life here. But before he could finish his thought, Dong-ho was already happily carrying Sahita out. The wound on her leg was gradually disappearing, and she leaned tiredly against Dong-ho. After what just happened, the young girl must have been terrified. The leader, along with Sui and Tina, rushed over to Sahita, happy that she was okay, and he was truly humbled by the priest Seung-hyun. I didn't realize there was such an amazing healer here. I made a huge mistake. Dong-ho saw the three of them rushing over aggressively and had to shout a warning to be careful. After all, they were just victims of an accident. Seung-hyun smiled, clearing away all misunderstandings. Everything was finally resolved. Ali looked towards them, his face expressionless. Their team turned back to the path on the left, following Seung-hyun's lead. Reaching the end of the road was the boss room. Lakamati pushed the door open and stepped in. Greeting them was a two-horned, one-eyed demon. "Welcome, you useless sacrifices." The demon's wind was strong enough to blow a person away. Everyone sensed something ominous. Its dark magic was too powerful. But to get this far and retreat wouldn't be heroic. Whether they could beat it or not, nobody knew. The monster started casting magic. The fireball in its hand accumulated more and more power, and the dark aura grew more suffocating by the second. Everyone was in a battle stance. They had to strike back at the very first attack it launched. The two-horned demon became arrogant. It despised these foolish humans for stepping in here to hand over their lives, but it hadn't been smug for long before it was struck, losing half its body. While it was dazed and unaware of what had happened, it vanished into thin air. The one behind this was Seung-hyun. He unleashed his strongest skill to eliminate the monster in the blink of an eye. While everyone was still in shock over the demon, Dong-ho turned to Seung-hyun and whispered, "Shouldn't you have avoided finishing the boss with your strongest skill?" He just smiled and calmly replied, "Using my strongest skill after a string of useless skills, that's weird." He then raised his hand to retract Bria's arrow and the Holy Dawn. The boss was finally defeated. Sui intended to use her distaff to draw a magic circle to escape, but was stopped by Ali. "There's still time. Why not check this place out before leaving? Maintaining a magic circle costs a lot of mana, you know. Why don't we check out this place before we head back? Maintaining that magic circle burns through a lot of mana, you know." Seeing that it all made sense, everyone started to scatter to inspect the blood-stained altar room, which terrified Tina, who quickly slipped away. Elsewhere, Seung-hyun was observing curiously, thinking there must be something under that altar. He flipped it over and found another box with strange markings. Hidden underneath it had been discovered. He opened the lid, and a horde of zombies leaped out. They looked absolutely hideous. The situation turned dire, and everyone quickly took their battle positions. Lakamati focused his strength and used his holy power to strike them down. Jung-ho kept teasing him while fighting, which annoyed Lakamati, but he still didn't forget to remind him, "Even if they're zombies, just use your power. Aim for the heads." Both sides clashed fiercely, and the massive explosions soon left the place looking desolate. Seung-hyun felt it was strange. Once the boss was defeated, the zombies couldn't move. What was going on? After taking out the last of them, Seung-hyun looked toward the corpse of the leader and discovered the core wasn't there. He turned to talk to Jung-ho, but the man collapsed right in front of him. Luckily, Seung-hyun caught him in time, or he would have broken his nose. He also realized everyone else had passed out. They were still breathing, so they weren't dead, just asleep. Observing the situation, Seung-hyun suddenly realized that what he had just killed was only a clone. Where was the real leader? His sixth sense told him the beast was still in the room. Seung-hyun pulled out his divine crossbow, aimed in the direction his intuition whispered, and fired. The arrow, carrying incredible power, whistled toward the target. The enemy was no pushover. With a single slash, he deflected the shot. The skill Seung-hyun had just unleashed had two purposes: first, to restore everyone's strength, and second, to expose the hidden boss. "Who was blending into this room? Everyone else is asleep, but you're still fine," Ali said calmly. "Aren't you the same?" Seung-hyun replied. "That's why I reconsidered. I didn't drink the mana potion that you gave to everyone." He drew his knife and lunged to slash Ali. The white bandage wrapped around his arm slipped off. Seung-hyun exposed the fraud. "You don't use weapons or dark magic, do you? Unless you're the true dungeon boss." Dark energy began to radiate from Ali. His secret exposed, Ali didn't hesitate to admit it. Contrary to expectations, he transformed into a boss monster, but remained handsome and posh like an aristocrat, unlike the pathetic look he had while playing the scammer. All this time using this disguise, he had tricked so many foolish people into walking into this place never to return. Only Seung-hyun had realized his true nature. "Being this clever, you really are a juicy prey for a sacrifice, aren't you?" Without hesitation, Ali stabbed his own hand, then attacked. Seung-hyun took a defensive stance, blocked the blade as he lunged, and raised his divine crossbow. 2 arrows grazed the enemy and fell. Ali, acting like a madman, slashed wildly and threatened, "He chose me. I was just a nameless thief until he made me special. If I offer you as a sacrifice to him, I wonder how pleased he will be." Just like those teammates I killed back then. So just stay there and wait to die. As soon as he finished speaking, a blood-red magic circle appeared behind him, and one just like it appeared under Sung-hyun's feet. It turned out that when he stabbed his hand earlier, it was to create this formation. Then he lured the hero into the center. Ali laughed triumphantly and began to command the spell to seize Sung-hyun. A blinding light flashed. The protagonist was still standing there while that chaotic mess, which had turned into hands intending to swallow him whole, was now slowly disappearing. Sung-hyun mocked, "That actually surprised me." Ali, seeing the situation, grew even more furious and kept ordering magic attacks, but it was useless. He had to enter the fray himself. Sung-hyun didn't rush to fight. He picked up an orb that was emitting a strange light and asked, "Is this the treasure in your hand?" The enemy blurted out, "The crystal of Lord Kakareso. This item contains divine defensive magic and spell resistance. Whatever it is, it's dark magic. Sooner or later it will be dispelled by holy water." Ali crazily lunged to snatch back the orb. Since it was an important item, Sung-hyun mercilessly threw it high into the air and used his skill to retrieve the crystal. Then he drew his crossbow and fired straight at Ali's head. Attacked by surprise, the boss unleashed dark thorns. These thorns surrounded him like a protective spell. It looked like he intended to heal first, but not on my watch. Sung-hyun used a shattering skill to break through the perimeter closed in on the opponent and used his crossbow to end the life of the crazed boss. With such high attack power, you're still not dead, still kneeling and begging for the crystal. Are all you fanatics like this? Ali used his dying breath to say, "Lord Kakazoso told me he could feel the invisible presence when looking at us. So you're just like me then." So this guy was also a god. Checking his status window, he could see the administrator. Sung-hyun coldly replied, "I don't believe in gods, but I don't deny the fact that I cannot explain my own power." Ali laughed loudly, saying his final words before breathing his last, "Eventually, you will want more too." Having said that, he collapsed to the ground. The wicked boss had paid for the crimes he committed. Holding the crystal in his hand, Sung-hyun thought it was about time to wake the administrator up. Everyone was starting to regain consciousness. Feeling a splitting headache, Sung-hyun explained, "No need to be surprised. That jerk was the leader of the monsters." "No. Forget about bragging, everyone survived thanks to me." The whole team started crowding around the corpse. Before, no one had suspected the dark magic he radiated. Jung-ho wondered how Sung-hyun could have realized he was the bad guy. He casually shared his experience. "I usually don't trust jerks who pretend to be good. Smiling and acting kind for no reason, even using honorifics whenever you meet jerks. Like that, you have to stay as far away as possible." Jung-ho gave him a judgmental look. "You're describing yourself right now. Do you recognize one of your own?" Sung-hyun turned to ask Su-yi to create a magic circle for their escape. But Su-yi began to grow suspicious. She could sense the divine power of a high-ranking priest. And that judgment? Why is he hiding it? Could he be plotting something? Well, just keep acting perfectly in Seung-hyun's eyes. That's enough. Leave it to me, sir. She looks different. Seung-hyun was a bit taken aback. Why the sudden use of formal language? Once it was done, Seung-hyun looked at the girl who was still trembling in the corner, cleared his throat, and called out, "Priestess Sahita, can we talk for a moment?" Sahita jumped, caught off guard, but tried to appear calm. According to Seung-hyun, he believed these monsters are actually the adventurers who were sacrificed alive here previously. Sahita timidly voiced her opinion. She wanted to pray together for the dead. They placed them inside the magic circle and sincerely prayed for the souls of the departed, hoping they would find peace. As soon as they finished, the system panel displayed an achievement unlocked, participating in a purification ritual to pray for the deceased. They've rested now. Sung-hyun raised his hand and clicked Select, glancing over at Jung-ho, who did the same. The two understood each other perfectly. After that, Tina created a mana barrier to cover the bodies. It was a bit thin, but better than nothing. Suyi was walking along when, unbeknownst to her, a shadow appeared behind her. Sensing something was wrong, Sung-hyun instantly whipped his head around. He tried to warn Suyi just in time, but it was too late. Ailey stabbed her, and she slumped to the ground motionless. Sung-hyun had made a careless mistake. He'd forgotten about the divine artifact Karasul. It had transferred its power to Ailey. He immediately ordered, "Get those bodies and Suyi out of here now. Priestess, we have to take that piece of trash out." Sahita's face went pale. She was already timid and terrified, and now she was forced into battle. Ailey lunged with lightning speed to slash at Sung-hyun, but he managed to block it. The guy's strength was immense. He asked Sahita to channel her energy. Even though she was scared, she focused and channeled her divine power, boosting Sung-hyun's strength significantly, allowing him to push the enemy back. This time, the target. Ailey's target was Sahita. He lunged forward, but Sung-hyun managed to grab him by the neck. Sahita cast her spell again, and the power was even greater than before, making Ailey scream in pain as he clutched his eyes. Suddenly, he pulled the core of carcass from his body and crushed it, swearing that this would be the final sacrifice. A gale erupted, blowing everything away. The dungeon was collapsing. Sung-hyun hurried with Sahita, running toward the magic circle to get out of there. As for that bastard Ailey, he was crushed under a giant boulder, though it's unclear if he's truly dead. But things didn't end there. Because of the previous attack, Suyi's spirit was unstable. Even though she had been healed, she could not focus her mind to control the mana. The dungeon collapse grew more severe. Suyi wept bitterly. Sung-hyun suddenly realized the magic circle was already complete. It just needed energy to function. Meanwhile, Tina was skilled in magic and could immediately recognize what kind of magic circle it was. And she was also proficient in creating magical barriers. By combining those two, Tina could save everyone. Tina was given the heavy responsibility and refused, afraid she couldn't pull it off. But one word from Sung-hyun made her realize the truth. With her deep knowledge and Sung-hyun's help, Tina succeeded. She activated the magic circle, bringing everyone to safety. Suyi jumped for joy, a far cry from her exhausted state earlier. Sung-hyun asked about where they were, and Suyi announced they were in the city above Lake Kama. It was a peaceful place due to the existence of a magic barrier. So many nobles and mages gathered there, as it was very easy to find research materials and rare books. Sung-hyun looked around curious. It was his first time at a magic tower. 3 people wearing outfits similar to Suyi's opened the door. They had come to check the area, because the coordinates had been activated. When Suyi met someone, she knew she didn't get to celebrate for long before her professor gave her a thwack on the head. Then came the chase between teacher and student. After hearing the whole story, the professor teased her for giving up being a mage of the magic tower to become an adventurer, only to end up back there after nearly losing her life. It left the girl speechless, not knowing how to explain it. Afterward, the professor turned to praise Sung-hyun for doing a good job and then took them to the guest room. Maybe it was because it was a strange place, but Sung-hyun couldn't sleep. He grabbed his coat and went for a walk. Suddenly, someone spoke to him. "What are you doing up at this hour, Kang Sung-hyun?" He asked back, surprised. "It's late, are you still awake, oh Tina?" She also exclaimed in surprise, "Healer Sung-hyun. It's been a while since I returned to the tower, so I was feeling a bit nostalgic." Hearing that, he smiled slightly and replied, "So you come from a tower too, then?" After nodding in confirmation, Tina expressed her regret. "I'm sorry about what happened earlier. It was a dangerous situation, and I hesitated too much." Sung-hyun quickly reassured her, "You don't need to feel sorry at all. We're only alive because of you." Tina felt a weight lift off her shoulders and comfortably shared, "I originally came from the Golden Tower. Since I was little, I showed talent for magic, so I was pressured to enter the tower, but I preferred using a sword. I always remembered my duels with Ross. And then it turned out my talent wasn't anything special." Facing Sung-hyun's question, "Is that why you left the tower?" Tina admitted without hesitation, "Yes. But in the end, my magic and swordsmanship were both mediocre. If at least I had focused on just magic, perhaps." After contemplating her vague talent, Sung-hyun quickly offered advice. I don't know much since I've never studied any of those things, but I think the important thing is to do what you love. And if you find your talent is lower than others, you can use a trick. No matter what, you must pursue it to the end, regardless of what method you have to use. The next morning, seeing Kim Jung-ho saying his goodbyes to Soo-yi with regret, Sung-hyun spoke up. They've all left. Lakamari wanted to keep training while Soo-yi wanted to get the work done. A clean breakup, don't you think? No one lost their life. Then he quickly turned to look at Tina, asking, "What about you, Tina?" Jung-ho also eagerly made an offer. "If you don't have any plans yet, you're welcome to come with us." After hesitating for a moment, Tina clearly declared, "I want to become a magic swordsman. You can laugh at me if you want, but I want to choose my own path." Sung-hyun smiled and continued, "I knew you'd say that. If you want to become a magic swordsman, you should pay a visit to this place. Lin Fairholly Village. It's the coldest place in the north. There's a madman there, a very strong magic swordsman I know. I guarantee he's incredibly skilled, so just observing him will be extremely beneficial for you." Tina appeared incredibly excited by this guidance and kept thanking him repeatedly. Before saying goodbye, she didn't forget to promise, "I will write to you often." Jung-ho also started urging, "We should get going now." Just as the two were about to leave, they suddenly heard a voice calling out, "Sui, wait." After reaching the Hongpap building, the professor said, "I apologize for keeping you." Sung-hyun remained calm and replied, "It's fine, but who is this?" The man standing opposite them hurriedly spoke up. "Pleased to meet you. I am Sion from the Dark Arts Department." He briefly explained about the tower. Typically, it's known as the Tower for Dark Mages. Our main goal is to find suitable methods to utilize dark magic and dark mana. Just then, a thought flashed through his head. So using dark magic is still legal if you have a license, even though the Holy Temple would hate that. Receiving the offer from Professor Tenzo, he heard about the recent incident and begged me to let him meet you. Sion hurriedly continued, "I heard that the bug was an incredibly powerful dark mage. Did you happen to pick up any of his personal belongings? I want to buy them for my experiments." Hearing this request, Sung-hyun started thinking. "I have Kokujasu's crystal, but I don't want to hand it over. Is there anything else?" After recalling the battle that day, he dreamily remembered a small knife. "I almost forgot about that one." Sung-hyun didn't hesitate to ask, "What about a magic knife that the dark mage used?" Sion quickly realized, "There is still a massive amount of dark mana inside this knife. I'm so excited to study how wonderful it is." "Great, I'll give you whatever you want." Deep down, Sung-hyun also felt satisfied. These things will really interest the mages. Magic books and a whole bunch of other stuff. An item on the table suddenly caught his attention. "What is that?" After trying to pick it up to study, Sung-hyun was shocked when this strange object began to emit melodies and dance continuously in front of everyone. Everyone stared. Sung-hyun quickly grabbed it and explained, "This is called a hyperactive music box, a toy my friend gave me. Why is it here? It absorbs mana from the air and converts it into vitality." Sung-hyun suddenly realized, "It helps me restore stamina points." He quickly declared, "I'll take that one." The result was beyond satisfying for Sung-hyun, as he, the professor, also gave him a scroll and a pile of books. Still, Sung-hyun couldn't help but wonder, this scroll is the formula for making freeze potion perfect. I do need some more potions and ingredients. Nice. Afterward, Sung-hyun came up with a suggestion. "Jung-ho, why don't we stay here a little longer?" Professor Tenzo had granted him permission. At that moment, the professor handed it over. With an appreciative attitude, "This is a small token of gratitude for saving my student's life. Since you're already at Hongpap, why don't you take a tour around?" Jung-ho also seemed very surprised. "Looks like they aren't that arrogant after all. I thought mages were all stuck up. All right, staying a bit is fine. I heard the tower has many good items and high-quality pharmaceuticals. Seung-hyun laughed and replied, "That's exactly my goal." After stopping by the Hongpop potion shop, Seung-hyun was selecting items and saying, "I'll take the mana potions and vitality potions, 1 box of each, and 3 boxes of stamina potions." After seeing the man in front focusing on brewing, Seung-hyun hurriedly stopped him. "Excuse me, I think it's better not to add that." The man turned to look at him with a disdainful gaze. He clearly looked like someone who didn't know how to use mana at all. Then he angrily shouted, "Nonsense," and continued doing what he wanted. Seeing that Young-ho remarked, "I think they are all arrogant." "What kind of attitude is that?" Seung-hyun just smiled and urged, "Let's go then." After the two left the shop, Young-ho curiously asked, "Hey Kang, why did you tell him not to add that?" He was just about to explain, but before he could finish, they heard a loud explosion behind them. Even so, he calmly continued, "That's exactly why." Young-ho couldn't hide his horror and blurted out, What just happened?" Inside the potion shop, the people present were coughing, stumbling. As they walked and angrily asked, "Which idiot caused this? Why would you do that?" "That might be poisonous smoke. Use a magic shield." A magic shield was immediately activated, but it didn't seem very effective in this situation, as it was slowly being pierced, even though the man was trying to hold it up. He still had to scream in frustration. "The magic shield isn't working. It's hot. It's hot." He kept thinking to himself, "No, I have to get out of here first." Unexpectedly, he was blocked by Kang Seung-hyun. "Where do you think you're going?" He still firmly blocked the door confidently, declaring, "None of you are stepping outside. That's why I told you not to put that in there." They were still stubborn and refused to admit it, determinedly trying to push him away. "What are you doing? Move." Seung-hyun remained calm, reassuring them. "The herbal scent isn't poisonous, so don't be afraid. The smoke isn't dangerous." Hearing that, they interrupted, "So, we're fine." But the next piece of information he provided, "But when you inhale it, all the mana in your body will melt away." This made them pale. After a loud shout, "What?" they felt the change inside their bodies. A liquid was dripping down onto the floor. Screams of panic began to erupt. "This is my mana melting away, so I won't be able to use magic anymore. No, I'm leaving." The group started fleeing under Seung-hyun's watchful gaze. He quickly stopped them. "Stop, I think you've forgotten who you are, haven't you? We are right here in the magic tower. Do you guys really think you can handle the consequences of opening it?" Speaking of the magic tower, it's an organization built for mages to research magic and increase their power. It means this place is packed with all kinds of magical research and facilities that use mana. They were wondering if this smoke gets out, all the facilities in the magic tower will be ruined. "We're doomed." Seung-hyun immediately explained, "Even if you guys are poisoned by the fragrant herbs, there's still a way. If treated in time, you'll recover quickly. Of course I know how to cure it, I'm a healer." They were overjoyed. "That's great, we're saved." Seung-hyun immediately cut them off and added, "But getting rid of the smoke is more urgent than saving you guys." Deep down, Seung-hyun knew clearly that even if they ran out of mana, they wouldn't die. But for a mage, not being able to use mana is no different than being dead. But he didn't care. Seung-hyun was still ignoring their pleas. "Please, we'll do anything. Please just heal us. We'll even inhale all of this smoke if you need us to. Please, Master Healer." Seung-hyun heard that and gave a smug smile. "Maybe unless they do this. This is why I love being a healer." Young-ho saw that and asked curiously, "Master Healer Kang, do they really need to inhale all the gas to get rid of it?" He got a reply, "That sounds fun, but it takes too much time. Good thing this is a potion shop. Bring out all the materials I mentioned now." Everyone started scrambling to find them. "Silicon powder," he said. "This is dried grapefruit. This smoke has to be handled right here. But since you can't hold smoke in your hands, it's hard to get rid of. So we have to turn it into a form that's easier to clean up." Hearing Jung-ho's coughing, Sung-hyun thought to himself, even though Kim Jung-ho only has a little mana, he's already showing symptoms. I have to hurry. He quickly mixed the concoction while telling himself that his former teammates' absorption and spray skills couldn't go to waste. A strange object began to appear, gathering the smoke into large chunks. Jung-ho exclaimed in surprise, "Master Healer Kang, this is..." And he got the answer, a solvent, a type of potion that turns smoke or gas into a gel. "What are you all doing? Pick it up." They quickly gathered it, whispering, "The texture is a bit gross. Shut up and clean it up. The healer will get angry." We finished cleaning up all that gas and healed everyone. The scent of the herbs has faded too. After checking everything, Sung-hyun shook his head in frustration. What a mess. Everyone remember to apologize to the shop owner and clean up carefully. By the way, you said it was fragrant herbs, right? I'm sure what I put in was a water-type plant. Fragrant herbs are just water-type herbs that have mutated due to too much mana. Usually they're herbs that help blend potion ingredients together, but when they become fragrant herbs, they melt away the mana. A girl also expressed her curiosity. How strange to think they grow something so dangerous in the magic tower. Seeing Sung-hyun looking puzzled at the magic tower, she hurriedly explained, "Yes, because most of the ingredients come from the cultivation site of the magic tower." He asked again curiously, could the cultivation environment have been altered? But she didn't think so. Probably not, because the cultivation room is managed by a mana system. Can you explain in detail? After all his questions were answered, Sung-hyun rushed off, leaving Jung-ho surprised. "Hey, where are we going now?" "We have to find Professor Tenzo. The situation is probably worse than I thought." Tenzo spoke calmly. "I've heard about the accident at the potion shop." He was communicating via projection. "I wish I could be there in person, but I can't go anywhere because we have this damn conference." Tenzo quickly granted access. "You have permission to enter the herb garden." Suyi replied briefly, "Thanks." Sung-hyun said with a smile, "Nice to see you." On the way, she was sweating profusely. "I've been looking all over the tower for you to show you the way." They headed straight forward. "Over there is the herb garden." As soon as the door opened, Suyi's expression changed. The whole room was in ruins. "This is..." he calmly prepared, "doesn't look very safe." Summoning Bria's crossbow, everyone checked the area together. Humidity control, climate control, temperature, biocontrol. All the support spells have been destroyed, she concluded. The mana condensation in the room is also abnormally high. I think the main magic circle is the problem. Everyone spread out and search for it. "Where is it?" "I think it's deep inside." Suddenly, a vine lashed out at high speed. Sung-hyun realized it in time. He quickly yanked Jung-ho back. He narrowly escaped. Jung-ho, while trying to catch his breath, asked, "What was that?" Sung-hyun calmly asked back, "What do you think it is?" The answer was simple. A monster that grew by absorbing mana. A wood, ivy, a monster. Suyi reacted quickly and immediately cast Windblade. She dealt a massive amount of damage. The wood ivy shrieked in agony and lashed out with a vine aiming straight for Suyi. Jung-ho rushed forward. "How dare you!" He easily sliced the vine off. It fell heavily to the ground. Suyi laughed confidently. "Easier than I thought." Jung-ho was on high alert. Wait, where the wood ivy had just been cut, thick white foam bubbled up. It immediately grew into new vines. Both Suyi and Jung-ho were caught off guard. Sung-hyun furrowed his brow. It self-heals the wounded plant body. Bria's quiver was creating poison-tipped arrows. He fired rapidly, hitting several vines at once, but they just grew back. He sat up, stunned. "What the? If I ran into this thing, I'd run away immediately." Sung-hyun calmly assessed the situation. With his keen eyes, he noticed the healing rates differed. It healed faster when Suyi slashed it. He speculated, maybe the attacks are mana-based, and nodded when they agreed. "All the herbs here grow so fast because of the excess mana," Sung-hyun concluded. "I think that monster has the ability to absorb it." She launched a direct fireball attack at its face. It was completely unfazed. The wood monster counterattacked instantly. Suyi barely dodged it, and even fire didn't have any effect. Jong-ho was stunned. I don't think we can kill it that way. Both of them thought it was time to retreat. The room was filled with mana, but only Sung-hyun smirked. Why would we retreat? He pulled out dozens of white orbs. We have someone who can dispel mana, don't we? The other two were shocked. Wait, that thing. Sung-hyun quickly crafted a pouch, creating an aroma-luring arrow. The wood monster took a direct hit and shrieked in agony. Suddenly, it closed its petals and spewed a stream of poisonous gas directly at everyone. Jong-ho coughed violently. What is this? We can't use our skills, Sung-hyun said calmly, having already summoned his weapons. Priya's bow is fully loaded. His smile widened. Now we can auto-attack until it dies. Sung-hyun changed his stance, gripping his sword. Countless attacks were launched. The wood monster roared frantically. Its vines were slower than before. Jong-ho cheered. It's working. It's healing slower now, he shouted. Jong-ho now. Sung-hyun pointed. Jong-ho leaped high, heading straight for the target. He put everything into his strike. Everyone watch how cool this is. Jong-ho tensed his entire body. As the only one not dependent on mana, he gathered his momentum and roared, "Take this finishing blow." But then Jong-ho suddenly shouted, "Sung-hyun." Relying on him, he jumped up. Sung-hyun gathered power into his blade. I think this round is a total disaster, guys. But Sung-hyun just gave a faint, confident smile. Slash. He landed a critical hit. A moment later, the wood monster could only lay flat on the ground. Suyi sighed in relief. We did it. Sung-hyun wasted no time. Suyi, take us to the main magic circle. They arrived at the herbal cultivation room. The stone slab was shattered to pieces. Oh my, he assessed calmly. It's completely destroyed. Can you find the cause? She asked. He couldn't believe it either. It seems the amount of mana it absorbed exceeded its limits, and it couldn't take it anymore. How could the energy from the circle become increasingly unstable? There was also mana leaking out. It was about to trigger violent electrical surges. They all immediately realized a mana explosion. The stone slab of the magic circle had cracked and was emitting chaotic energy. Jong-ho clutched his head in a panic. It's going to explode. Sung-hyun calmly looked for a way to handle it. Suyi, is there any way to stop the mana that keeps pumping into it? Suyi shook her head frantically. No, there's no way. A low-level mage can't even... Sid, look at the mana connection points, she stated firmly. And if it suffers any impact, it will explode instantly. Sung-hyun quickly made a decision. Run, he muttered to himself. It didn't matter. Sung-hyun analyzed the risks. If it was as strong as a spell, the destructive power would be immense. Not just him, but even those outside would be caught in it. He was extremely decisive, using his keen eyes skill. I have to find the mana connection point at all costs. Sung-hyun's vision was momentarily enhanced. He spotted it. Found it! The other two couldn't help but gasp in amazement. Sung-hyun stepped forward decisively. Seeing him advance, the two shouted in alarm. What are you doing, Healer Kang? You can't go in there? Sung-hyun muttered to himself. A massive amount of pure mana is being gathered to create... that bomb. Normal attacks wouldn't work. He took out a gold orb. Sung-hyun speculated, but if it's an object with high mana resistance... The item in his hand was the sacred orb of Kikarashil, which had powerful defensive mana resistance properties. Shockwaves radiated intensely from the magic circle. Sung-hyun endured quite a bit of pressure. Suyi turned away, pale. I can't look. Jong-ho was terrified. Healer Kang. He gritted his teeth and kept moving forward. I have to aim for the connection point of the circuit. Sung-hyun squeezed the orb, and in a split second, he turned his body, put all his strength into his arm, and used the throw skill. Sung-hyun aimed precisely. The orb hit the magic circle. Everyone, how was that pretty cool, right? It was peak performance. The colors shifted to red instantly. The orb quickly warped the magic matrix. The mana circuit was slowly being blocked as if it were being sucked dry, turning blue. A moment later, the orb fell to the ground. Suyi nervously opened her eyes. She stared around in a daze. The explosion stopped. While they were stunned, Sung-hyun turned back. What just happened? He flashed a smug smile. The two immediately rushed over and hugged Sung-hyun. Healer Kang Yu, I'm a healer, you're the absolute best. He answered nonchalantly. I know. Suyi was overjoyed. Seriously, what even are you? Sung-hyun coldly replied. Get off me. He inwardly breathed a sigh of relief. Glad I tested the sacred orb's capabilities beforehand. Tenzo frowned, confused. What just happened? He stated firmly. The power supply system definitely had a problem. Suyi thought, even magic can't withstand it if these incidents keep happening. She analyzed seriously. If the magic tower collapses, the protective barrier guarding the city will also dissolve. Please let us investigate the mana center. Tenzo shook his head helplessly. The mana center is very important to the source of magic. That is beyond my authority. Yong-ho stroked his chin in thought. Even the professor can't freely enter inside. This is tricky. Sung-hyun wouldn't give up. Then, who manages the mana center? He answered flatly, one of the vice tower masters of the blood magic tower. Tenzo offered a name, Lord Hai Hai. He asked coldly, so, you're Kang Sung-hyun, right? Why are you looking for me? He began to summarize the situation, the events that had occurred at the magic tower today, and explained the situation. He nodded, understanding the point. Is that so? So you want to enter the mana center right now? Sung-hyun sighed with exhaustion. Actually, I didn't intend to come here, but he'll probably agree if I tell him everything. He gave a professional smile. Wait, that's not… Before we could finish, Hai rudely cut us off. Nonsense, he roared in a fit of rage, slamming a stack of documents onto the table. The facilities inside the mana center. You're talking gibberish. They were created using the Blood Magic Tower's most advanced technology. It would remain safe even if the tower collapsed. Hai yelled furiously. How could there possibly be a problem with a place like that? Sung-hyun stood there stunned. Is he out of his mind? Suyi broke into a cold sweat. Professor Hai, do you have any idea what the herb garden looks like right now? Jong-ho was also getting annoyed, raising his voice. Exactly. Do you even know what we've had to deal with? She tried to explain, the magic circles have completely… But he just craned his neck, lashing out again. Stop it, Suyipana. Not only are you running away, but now you're insulting the magic tower too. She was left speechless. Hai stubbornly refused. I won't let you people into the mana center. Sung-hyun remained silent for a moment before letting out a dry laugh. Sir, Vice Tower Master Hai, I'll give you some advice. Evacuate everyone and act immediately. Sung-hyun gave him this final kind warning. That's the best thing you can do. But Hai just looked down his nose at him with contempt. I don't want to hear it. What a waste of time. With that, he slammed the door shut on his way out. Damn it, I muttered, rubbing my head and pulling at my hair. Damn it, Jong-ho muttered, frustrated. He's just talking absolute nonsense. Sung-hyun just shrugged calmly. He's picking a fight in the strangest way. She was so angry she couldn't control her words. Damn it, this is why all those bastard mages are so full of crap. He chuckled to himself. It didn't really matter anyway, because in the end A moment ago, Sung-hyun had used his sharp eyes skill. A barrage of red warning signals surrounded Hai. Danger, danger. Death imminent. He knew for a fact the guy was going to die. Inside the room, he was sighing incessantly. Hai was restless and anxious. How much do those bastards already know? He broke into a cold sweat, his mind racing through every possibility. Could it be that there really is a massive problem? Do they know the mana supply system has failed? Hai clutched his head in misery. I've neglected the maintenance of the Mana Center because I was so busy preparing for the successor's coronation ceremony. I've been so careless. He tore at his hair. If anyone finds out about this, I'll be removed from the list of candidates. Hai was determined to make a choice. At the very least, he had to keep this a secret. At least until the ceremony is over, I can handle this quietly. While he wasn't paying attention, the wall behind him had cracked. After becoming the Tower Master, Wait Hai turned around to see what it was. He frowned, failing to grasp the situation, and then suddenly the whole room exploded. Dust and debris filled the air. The entire villa turned into a chaotic mess. Hai was lucky to have survived. What the hell is this? But he was stuck fast in the rubble. I can't move. I have to try and move these things first. The mana in Hai's hands went out of control. He suffered a backlash, the pain so intense he almost passed out. Hai gritted his teeth, confused. The mana was surging backward. He shouted for help. Is anyone out there? Come help me! Footsteps approached, making Hai feel a surge of relief. Over here! Help me! A cold voice rang out. Do you understand now, sir? Sung-hyun walked up calmly, his gaze sweeping over the area with a detached look. I did warn you. Hai pleaded pathetically. You're just in time. I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Man, isn't this guy acting like a total idiot? He urged him desperately. Hurry up and help me. Sung-hyun shrugged with a bitter smile. Why didn't you listen to others' advice? The tower's mana system right now is releasing way too much power. Every place where a mana vein runs is in the same state as it is here. He looked down at him with eyes full of contempt. You didn't even bother to listen when I warned you. Sung-hyun was clear-headed enough to realize the guy only changed his mind because he was about to die. Hai was still trembling, begging, please save me. He cursed the bastard under his breath. Sung-hyun answered coldly, I'm very busy, so I can't spare my precious time here. Hai was shocked. What? He turned his back, ready to leave. If you give me something of value. He gritted his teeth, calculating hurriedly. Hai quickly made a decision. Wait, I have something you might want. Sure enough, he offered the key to the mana center. Hai smirked calculatedly. If you save me, I'll give you this. You need to control the mana center. To save everyone here. Sung-hyun was slightly taken aback. Are you holding the others hostage? He started trying to lure him. Think about it. He thought, chuckling to himself. A bastard like this is a top candidate for the Tower Master position. The Blood Tower has really gone crazy. Sung-hyun leaned in slightly. I forgot to mention this. He dropped the bombshell on Hai. The explosion just now had destroyed the entire seal at the Mana Center. The man dropped his treasure in despair. Sung-hyun continued to walk away. So, I don't need that precious key of yours. See ya. The mana started going haywire again. Hai pleaded, Wait, I'll give you something better. He replied nonchalantly, Really, all right, I'll come back later then. With that, Sung-hyun walked away decisively. I'm going to save the others first. He couldn't hold back his tears anymore. A tragic scream erupted at the same time as the explosion. No. He picked up the pace. This place had already been destroyed. Sung-hyun dashed through the streams of mana. I have to check the situation outside. Suddenly, a cry caught his attention. Sung-hyun couldn't help but be surprised. Children. These two kids haven't been evacuated yet. He immediately put on a professional smile and asked, What's wrong, you two? Lucy cried while pointing at the debris. My friend. The little girl couldn't say much more before bursting into tears. Sung-hyun was at a loss. He had no idea what she was talking about. Guess I'll use my skill. He was a bit surprised by the skill's name. Calm voice. When cast, it would soothe the target's psyche, eliminating panic, and increasing the chances of a full recovery for the target. Is this a variation of the calming prayer? Sung-hyun slowly reached out his hand. I bet the prayer skill requires holy power, and I don't have any skill like that. He patted their heads while casting the skill. calm voice. You two settle down now and tell me what happened. Both of them instantly stopped crying. Sung-hyun cleared the pile of rubble blocking the way, and the kids explained, We were just doing our homework when the floor and walls suddenly exploded. As he searched, he recalled them saying, Lee Jae used a barrier to protect us so we could escape, but the bookshelf fell over while we were running. And him. Sung-hyun whispered a silent prayer, hoping it wasn't too late. Too late. He found a child pinned under the bookshelf. Lee Jae, you're Lee Jae, right? The little girl woke up dizzily. Who's there? Sung-hyun knelt down quickly. I'm here to save you. Are you okay? Lee Jae squinted. You're not wearing a cloak. You must be an awakened. She insisted. I'm a goner. Just take my friends to safety. He froze for a second. Is this her second life? Why is this child so mature? Seung-hyun analyzed Lee Jae's condition. Status debuff, bleeding. Status debuff, mana backflow. Status debuff, broken ankle. He thought as he started pulling her out. She was still trying to save her friends even in this state. Lisa, she called out anxiously. It was completely different from someone who just faced death. Awakened, you don't have to do this. Can you all see how heartbreakingly sensible this child is? She used her remaining strength to warn him. Your mana will overload and cause a backflow too. But Sung-hyun didn't listen. He gently reached out toward her. Lee Jae squeezed her eyes shut. For her sake, he cast a hemostasis skill, gently reassuring her, I can't take away the pain. But I can stop the bleeding for you. Lee Jae was stunned. How? She gasped in shock. How can you ignore the mana backflow and use a skill? Sung-hyun smiled back. I'm a healer after all. If I were there, I'd definitely be head over heels for him too. After giving Lee Jae first aid, Sung-hyun carried her and ran. He moved fast with explosions trailing right behind them. Lee Jae looked back anxiously. Careful, the explosions are stronger than before. Sung-hyun reminded her, Keep your head down, Lee Jae. It's dangerous. He ran while carefully observing his surroundings. This is only the 12th floor. If we go down to the 9th floor... Wait. Sung-hyun stopped dead in his tracks. The stairs ahead were destroyed. He looked left and right, then concluded, I didn't account for this. There's no other way. He spotted a massive hole in the wall. Lee Jae, he asked, Hey, don't overthink this. Okay, are you afraid of heights? Lee Jae couldn't help but be suspicious. Mister, is this really the only way out? He tied a few extra loops around her. Don't worry, just keep your eyes closed. Sung-hyun stepped out without hesitation. I'll make sure you stay safe. Honestly, I'd be shaking just like the kid. Lee Jae, be brave. Yes, I'm ready. They had to move fast. Let's go. The mana circuits became unstable. The moment they jumped, the floor above exploded. They were in a total freefall. All they could see below was pitch blackness. She squeezed her eyes shut and didn't scream, truly impressive. Sung-hyun watched over Lee Jae caringly. A normal child would have cried themselves unconscious by now. He thought to himself, if a child like her dies, the future of Aesion will be extremely bleak. The Freya link pouch was crafting ice bandage arrows. It shot forward, the arrowhead embedding deeply into the wall. The two jerked to a stop midway down the tower. The sudden break made his whole body ache. Sung-hyun gritted his teeth, trying to hold on tight. Please don't snap. This makeshift combination was incredibly flimsy, 30% unreliable, 70% total madness. But somehow it worked. They were temporarily safe. A hook made from a bent metal bar and a bandage rope. He gave a bitter, self-deprecating laugh. He never thought he'd do something like this in his life. Outside, a crowd of mages was gathered, gossiping. What happened? It'll be fine. After all, it's the Red Magic Tower. The teacher was bowing repeatedly to Sung-hyun. Thank you for saving the children. Lee Jae introduced her. She's our teacher. He summarized the situation. It's fine. It's just what I should do. I've only provided temporary first aid for Lee Jae's leg. Could you please call a healer to help me? The little girl asked hurriedly. Are you going to the mana center now? Seung-hyun confirmed. That's right. I still have to help the others. Lee Jae held out a scroll. Then take this. It was meant for homework. I don't know if it will help, but... He flipped it open. This is... Suddenly, a voice called out. Lee Jae! 2 children ran over joyfully. It's Lee Jae! She recognized her friends immediately. Terrace Lucy. The kids cried and asked, Lee Jae, are you okay? Does your leg hurt a lot? She said happily. I'm fine. That healer saved me. These 2 are really prone to tears. I'm sorry, Lee Jae. It's all our fault. Lee Jae was like their little parent. Don't cry. I told you I'm fine. Or maybe not, because the little girl started tearing up too. I'm really, really fine. But if you guys keep crying like that, I'm going to start crying too. Lee Jae joined the crying choir. I was so scared, Seung-hyun thought to himself. I guess she's still just a kid, huh? He got back to the main point. Now let's head to the mana center. At the same time, at the mana center, Suyi was unconscious. Song-ho was also lying in a corner. Many mages around the mana tower system had lost consciousness. Seung-hyun looked around warily. What happened here? Is that the mana tower system? He scanned the area. Seung-hyun quickly realized the problem. The mana circuits were latching onto them, even Suire and Ho-jong were trapped. It had captured everyone. Suddenly, Tenzo shouted a warning, Don't come here! He was surprised. Professor Tanselan, oh! He struggled to explain, it absorbs everyone's mana in an instant. The magic orb radiated an overwhelming sensation. We can't contain it. Everyone get out of here quickly. I scanned the area. Seo-hyun quickly realized the problem. The mana circuits were tethered to them. Even Suire and Ho-jong, the things had caught everyone. Suddenly, Tenzo shouted a warning, Don't come any closer. I was surprised. Professor Tenseo. Oh, he struggled to explain. It's absorbing everyone's mana in an instant. The crystal was radiating an overwhelming presence. We can't control it. We need to get out of here now. It spotted Seo-hyun and lunged at him. Tenzo screamed in a panic. Kang, watch out! I calmly reassured him. I'm fine. The magic matrices crawled onto Seo-hyun, but did they really think they could beat him? It doesn't affect me. Seo-hyun grabbed Freya's pouch. It was crafting rock arrows. 3 powerful attacks slammed into it. The energy flux conjured a magic defense, a mana shield. He was terrified. A mana shield. It can even use skills now. Unlike Tenzo, Seo-hyun observed calmly. Just as I thought. A series of small screens appeared. Mana overload. Warning, mana overload. Warning, we want your mana. I anticipated this. It's become a tactical monster. If that's the case. Seo-hyun switched his attack type, Herb Arrow. The barrier showed signs of dissolving. They melted away like ice. I whispered to myself, gotcha. If I could just melt the protective layer, then... Tenzo shouted, pulling Seo-hyun back. Kang, look! The magic circuits lit up. The mana that leaked out was slowly being pulled back in. It was recycling everything. How environmentally friendly of it. I felt a chill run down my spine. It absorbed the parts that had already melted. 3 magic circles were summoned, much stronger and more complex than before. I can't handle this phase. It seemed like even Seo-hyun wasn't doing too well. I'm screwed. The mana crystal unleashed a barrage of attacks at him. Mana bullets. The crystal unleashed its ultimate move. Mana bullets. The damage was insane. Tenzo panicked, yelling, Kang! My left arm was scorched, leaving a large blackened patch. He coughed while trying to stand up, asking, Are you okay? Seo-hyun kept smiling. That almost killed me. I really just escaped death by a hair's breadth. If it weren't for the celestial orb, I would have been torn to pieces. But above all, this will never end if it keeps absorbing mana like this. The mana barrier was regenerating. The crystal's defense was as perfect as ever. Tenseo pointed out the issue. It was using the remaining mana as part of its own body. He realized immediately that Herb arrows aren't effective against mana that's already melted. I understood too. That's right. Seo-hyun already had a counter strategy. Luckily, this is exactly what I was hoping for. The crystal unleashed an even fiercer wave of attacks, rapid-fire mana bullets. I accelerated and lunged forward. Seo-hyun expertly dodged everything. At this moment, I had to be very careful. I quickly entered my stance and the arrow flew. The attacks collided head-on, creating massive explosions. The mana fell back to the ground where the crystal had already laid out its circuits. Tenzo felt like they were at a dead end. Oh no. The magic bullets were gradually being reabsorbed into the circuits. It was only making the mana crystal stronger. He couldn't understand it. Kang, what are you planning to do? Seo-hyun decisively threw his crossbow aside. The mana residue had formed the energy structure of the system. I lowered my center of gravity. That means... Seo-hyun leaped high into the air. I reached a conclusion. I can attack it with this. Kurt Carrasco's Celestial Orb, a solid effective magic defensive shield, and mana resistance. Seo-hyun tensed up and gripped the orb tightly. The crystal's defense was shattered in an instant. Kurt Carrasco punch. Tenzo, though mistaken, found it quite logical. He destroyed its armor with his bare hands. What a monster. Ignoring his incorrect conclusion, I continued to punch straight into the entity. Seo-hyun didn't hesitate. This is the last one. Suddenly, mana surged like a wave. They curled into water orbs, and then suddenly morphed into two giant hands. The attack pattern had changed. Tenseo still couldn't sit up. It can shapeshift. I felt a bit discouraged. Does this monster not know how to give up? Tenseo couldn't help but be stunned by that sight. No way! I can't believe such a monster was created in our magic tower. It had evolved into a different form. The crystal went on a rampage, destroying everything around it. The tower shook after every punch. Seo-hyun gritted his teeth, feeling the pressure. It's trying to stop me from getting close. It's like an earthquake is happening. There isn't much time left. How can I create a weak point? I tried to think about the circuits. Seo-hyun remembered Lee Jae. I recalled the scroll the girl gave me. As if waking up, that's it. I immediately had an idea. Because this thing is always obsessed with mana. I summoned Freya's crossbow again. Seo-hyun affirmed, Freya's pouch is crafting grand magic medicinal water arrow. I aimed at the wall behind it. It won't be able to ignore this. Sure enough, the crystal hesitated. The arrows lured it in. It headed straight for the target Seo-hyun had created. I seized the opportunity and tore the piece of paper. Gotcha! The crystal's conduits were pinned down. They slowly turned pitch black, losing their original function. It was clearly getting weaker. Seo-hyun laughed with delight. This stuff is really effective. The piece of paper I just tore had a magic circle drawn on it. The scroll contained Lee Jae's mana. Freya's pouch is crafting rock arrows. The crystal wanted to defend, but it couldn't. The arrow pinned straight into its core. A massive amount of mana gushed out violently. I smiled, satisfied. Done. A while after the tower stabilized, we faced a serious crisis today due to an overload of the mana energy system. Seung-hyun is now being honored by the mages. On behalf of everyone, Robert thanks the healer Kang Sung-hyun. He sincerely bows his head to him for saving the Red Magic Tower and all of Karma. Robert generously offers a reward, asking if there is anything he wants. Seung-hyun makes a request without the slightest hesitation, immediately leaving the mages stunned. I want the Magic Tower's special circular relaxation magic carpet. It would be great to have that. They whisper to each other as if they haven't met anyone so bold in decades. That's asking for too much, even for a mage. Without any special achievements, you can't even dream of it, let alone touch it. It seems he's pushing it. That item is only given to the mages of the Red Magic Tower, as a memento. Robert actually refused it. It couldn't be given to an outsider, no matter how great their contribution. Seung-hyun exhales in disappointment, thinking, I expected that. It didn't work out. But then Robert unexpectedly makes a decision. Therefore, as the master of the Red Magic Tower, I hereby declare healer Kang Seung-hyun as an honorary member of the Red Magic Tower. Robert acknowledges his contribution, even though he doesn't follow the path of a mage. Su-yi and Jong-ho are shocked. What you... He has thought it through carefully. He didn't hesitate to put himself in danger to save the Red Magic Tower. Robert is truly a wise man. If we don't recognize a person like that, Hadene, then who else will support us in the future? Seung-hyun is dazed. An honorary member. He chuckles self-deprecatingly. I used to be a quack, a healer who couldn't heal. And now I'm a fake mage, someone who... We can't even cast a single spell, huh? Amidst the cheers of everyone, he accepts the honor. Well, thank you, Master Robert, Seung-hyun thinks to himself. As long as it helps me heal people, I don't really care. Jong-ho stretches out, lying flat on the floor. So tired. He enjoys the fruits of their hard work, even though most of it was Seung-hyun's. Being an honorary member of the Magic Tower must be amazing, right? They even gave him a private room. He stands looking at the empty room. Too bad they didn't give me the furniture too. Seung-hyun doesn't ask for much. Anyway, we'll use this place as a storage room, so let's organize the inventory before we head out. You see, okay, Jong-ho replies excitedly. For sure. He sits down to rest for a bit. Status window task complete. Let's finish this one too. System notification, 6,841 points collected. You have an unclaimed reward. Seung-hyun thinks to himself, after treating those injured at the Magic Tower, I got so many points. Jong-ho also contributed a lot to that. Diligence really pays off. Something caught his attention. Quest, receive 5,000 points, reward 1 star. The old claims echoed in Seung-hyun's ears. But I cannot deny that you have been granted transcendental power. You will continue to crave it. He shakes his head, dismissing it. Getting involved with a god never ends well. It's best if I don't make any direct deals until I have more information. Managing this will have to wait. Seung-hyun immediately regains his composure and unlocks the achievement item storage bag. Unlock by holding 3 items of rare grade, or higher: 1 Freya's crossbow, 2 Good Caristeel's celestial orb, 3 the magic circle relaxation carpet. Achievement unlocked. He swipes his finger across the screen. What is an item storage bag? The system explains, item storage bag. You can use the storage system on your status window. When you put equipment into the item storage bag, you can enjoy their effects even without equipping them. Seung-hyun is satisfied. This is actually not bad. Perfectly made for the orb and the celestial orb. They are such a hassle. He searches more carefully. But isn't there an achievement Seung-hyun hasn't seen yet because he joined the Magic Tower? He mutters to himself. There should be, right? Jong-ho suddenly remembers something. He is still lying down, just rolling over. Doc, aren't you going to wear the robe you received at the Magic Tower earlier? Seung-hyun persists in maintaining his image. If I wear that, I don't look like a healer. He firmly believes a white coat is most suitable for a doctor. Wait a sec. Seung-hyun takes out the badge and uses the red seal. A brilliant red robe is draped over him. It is the symbol and the vestment representing my affiliation. The system immediately appears. Achievement unlocked. Mage of the Red Tower. Seung-hyun smiles with satisfaction. There it is. The next morning, their room is piled high with belongings, and some strange, slightly useless items are pulled out.